Check me out now. Return of the smooth operator. Shotty on repeat. I say sleep later. This another favor. Consider me your neighbor. Lost a lot of fam in pursuit of the paper. She gon' catch the vapors when we slide by. The way I speak my mind, it's like I peak my prime, but I ain't close. I cruise through the night air. Fantasy a dream. Real world is a nightmare. Like Claire battling the brainless. Learn to live shameless. Talk about me alive, but claim that I'm nameless. You aimless. So I'ma style on them. They washed up. It's a rap. Throw the towel on them. Gaining miles on them. Otakus for the win. Tacos, it depend on the mood that I'm in. Like Finn when it's time for adventure. This some new blue. Get ready to enter my mind for a few. Come and take a ride with the crew. I'ma show you how to recoup days lost when you vibe with the blue. Come vibe with the blue. Yeah. About time to regroup. Fly, got my eyes on the view. Never hear lies, only truth. Realize why they vibe with the blue. 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 Vibe with the vibe with the sky. Wait, you know the rest. I'm blessed. I see you frontin' like you ain't impressed, but I still get requests. I'm playing Zelda on the GameCube. I quit spamming my music. Don't ever try forcing the links. That's a high rule. The wind waker, Mother Nature on my side too, controlling the elements. Go and check my avatar. I'm arrows ahead. Get the point. Moving forward. The battle scars accumulated over time are reminders of what I went through as a minor, but made me a grinder. The trees broke down for this loose leaf. If life's a game of death, I'm Bruce Lee. Ooh wee. Lose sleep on the regular, trying to get this word out. Then I crash nebula. Wish I had a very odd parent, maybe two, but it's cool. Everybody pays dues. Now it's time to make moves. Granny didn't raise me to lose. Think I'm in the mood for a cruise. Wanna ride? Come and vibe with the blue. Come 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 vibe with the. Check this out, y'all. I'm back spazzing like the elderly. Worth of my cousin Beverly. Never swear away from the truth. Just ask Heather. Be weather, be tripping. Starting to control like our destiny. Always give you the best of me until the death of me. My weaponry is a paintbrush. Hush, don't tell my secret. They get a hold of it. If you leak it, get it. As usual. It's cool. Got you covered though, look. But let me get back to that cool-ish, loose-ish. Why they still lying? They don't do this bad at board games. Whole world clueless, selling their soul for roof Chris. Who's this honored fella? Need a sliced extra mozzarella. Crew fly, let God propellers. Humanity born like they don't trust fun. Why you dodge the teller? You don't know, but my odds are better. Life's a gamble, depending on who holding the cards. You can start living at large or it's bon voyage. Charge it to the game. Me and you ain't the same. I'm thinking bigger pictures. Why you still shrinking the frame? Ever blink in the rain? It helps when your eyes dry. Mob with the bright minds. Think you funny, wise guy? Midnight marauder with a new tribe. Tired of the fake. Come and vibe with the blue sky. Come vibe with the blue sky. Why do you try? We get them high. Take them high. What I do? Come vibe with the blue. Yeah. Come vibe with the blue. Caps, what up? Vibe with the. Wise grass only greener when it's fertilized. Gave them truth in these songs, they prefer to lies. Destiny beautiful, adrift in her purple eyes. You can't see me, you Stevie. Wondering how I reach more evolutions than Evie and make it look easy. Dream on, yeah. Dream on, dream weaver. Dream weaver.
What is up, Earth's mightiest subscribers? It's your boy Ernie, Blerd Without Fear. Got the homie Carter presents. Welcome to episode 223 of the Blerd Cave, the #1 comic book news stream on this side of the Earth in the multiverse that you can also find on Spotify. You can find it on Apple, iHeartRadio, Google, Stitcher, and if I'm not mistaken, I think you can even find it on VOTS music and podcast streaming services. So yeah, anyway, we got a lot to talk about and probably not enough time to talk about it in. So Carter, before we're going to talk about it, but Carter, how are you doing?
We ain't gonna get into that. Who do you know she just said something that you used to do that I wouldn't mind doing today? So Frustradamus, what is up? Man eater, I have not seen you in a minute.
Oh, no, you need to bring some more. You got to bring some more energy. You got to bring some more energy.
No, because what I was about to say, it was about to be very disrespectful, but I really, really hope that you are still not getting dragged into playing Dead by Daylight by that robot man. But it is good to see you this morning. Homie Forever, Hidiyu, Dalzell K. Williams, good afternoon. Sean Wesley, Irv, sweet, dopest intro music in the game. All right. Bobby Coltrane, I thought you were dead.
No, see, you think about Bobby Oche.
Oh, maybe that's what it is.
That's a Memphis thing. Y'all don't know nothing about that.
Serenity by Vibes, a true Pharaoh. Lawrence Mayberry, are you the sheriff though? Sean Meme. I just finished watching somebody play Metal Gear Rising and just hearing the memes from Raiden was the nastiest shit. There's a lot of shit in that game. Okay, Trump got elected 2016.
Right.
Metal Gear Rising came out 2013.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things the final boss says is he's like this evil senator. He's from he played football for the University of Texas. Completely forgot that he said that the whole reason he was doing everything with nanomachines, son, was because he was trying to make America great again. I completely forgot about that.
You know what? I actually forgot about that too. But you know what the funny thing about Metal Gear predicts a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Like, you can make all the jokes about like Metal Gear Solid 2 and like what was his name? Was it President George Sears who was Solidus? But like
I remember he was president, but go ahead.
Yeah, so that and the memes. Also the technology. A lot of the technology that is in Metal Gear is stuff that like actually has been created. Like, not so much giant mechs, but the way we see a lot of the early Metal Gears, we have tech like that. It's just smaller.
Yeah.
Like the types of drones and shit that you would see in Metal Gear, we would get that shit. We already have that stuff. And maybe even stuff that's better by now. But yeah, Hideo Kojima has his finger on the pulse of America. And that scares me, because you know what that means? One day, Carter, we are going to be walking through a government-run facility and get sliced up by a man who used to be known as Gray Fox or Gray Wolf or whatever his name was. You know, wait, I got to do it in the voice. Wait, is it Gray Fox? Or no, wait, no. Gray Wolf. Yep, it was Gray Wolf. There you go. I had to remember it. Had to do the David Hater.
It wasn't. And me being a Metal Gear fan, I am enraged right now of how bad you got that. But I want to talk to more people in the chat. Jason Davis is in here. Blerd and Carter, greetings from Be More, Be Less. Thank you. Ralph Hines is in here. Sig Fang. I always want to say Siegfried because his name always reminds me of Soul Calibur. Good morning,
I thought, I'm gonna show some age. I thought you were gonna say Siegfried and Roy.
Absolutely not. I was actually going to say what's up to Gabriel Knight, but he just gave a super chat. I'm pretty sure you're going to want to sing. We playing BG3 over here.
Goddamn right we are.
So for whatever reason, I think it's because I haven't had my coffee this morning. I clearly saw BG3, but said, damn, y'all playing Battlefield 3 for what? Don't ask me why. I turned
Wait, where'd you
BG
get the
free into-
where'd you get the
I don't know where I got
from?
the F from.
That's what I was like, wait a minute.
I have no idea where I got the F from. Who else we got in here? Nisi is in here. How you doing? Mr. Carter, the sweater. Yes, I love this sweater. I love the sweater. It's very rare that I wear this sweater. Heretical walnut. First time I've caught the start of a stream. That is the first time I have seen that hilariously nasty name, and I'm not going to forget it. Levesque Samurai, it is good to see you in here. Romy Forever with the 5 saying just showing some love. We appreciate it.
Goddamn right.
But heretical walnut, that is a very G name. That is a very G name. It's nasty, but it's dope at the
How is it
same time.
nasty? It's just a walnut.
Carter looking like he gonna branch after this. What the fuck does that mean?
I about to say you rocking the Cosby sweater like a motherfucker. I wasn't mad
This
at
is
you.
not a Cosby sweater.
I about to say you coming here looking crispy like Cliff Huxtable up in here.
Not even. I wish I had pills right now. They would only be for me. Pills would only be for me. I don't know why he's saying I look like I'm going to branch after this. What kind of?
I think maybe they meant brunch. It probably
Maybe.
autocorrect probably fucked them up. Because no one says brunch. No one says brunch regularly.
I'm at a certain age now. You young motherfuckers, y'all come up with so many new phrases. I don't know what they mean now. I don't know if I'm finna whoop somebody's ass. I'm finna break something.
I mean,
okay, he meant brunch.
Yeah. I figured he did. Yeah, because I mean that's a brunch sweater. That's a brunch sweater.
Yeah.
You look like honestly, I'm not gonna lie. You look like a motherfucker I would have seen in Starbucks, like working on the script.
That's disrespectful.
I mean, I'm just saying, dude. That's the thing. I've seen like you're working on the Great American Novel.
The Knives Out starter. I'll
there you
take
go.
the Knives Out sweater. I'll take that. I'll take it. I'll look like Ransom real quick. I'll look like Ransom. Appreciate it.
Look. Also, shout out was it Trumonic Trap says, "Call me Deep Throat." Also, I was right the first time. Gray Fox. I don't know why I thought Gray Wolf.
So here's the thing. First time I heard "Call Me Deep Throat," I didn't think anything of it. You see how you just give it right now? Now everybody can do that. With me, I'm just like, okay, the motherfucker wants me to call him Deep Throat. All right, and kept it moving, trying to sneak through. Nowadays, we finna see so many pauses and ayos in the chat for some reason because y'all just a lot of y'all sometimes for whatever reason y'all just got dick on the mind. I don't understand it.
I mean, the Watergate scandal was a thing, but you know,
maybe that's why. Because I was into like political stuff when I was younger because I was trying to be adult for the pretty girls. But Carter got the pumpkin spice fit on.
Oh man, you just made me want to watch that Meat Canyon skit.
Can I report? Hold on, let me report.
This motherfucker's ain't gonna report. Anyway, you know what? I want to give a shout out to Gabriel Knight with the 1999 super chat. Says we're going to bring it down a little bit because I had to give him that energy because of what the message says. Happy Saturday, Ernie Carter. All of Blerd Cove is driving to a funeral, but just wanted to show support. I will catch the full show later tonight.
Thank you.
Let's get them likes up. So yeah, sorry to hear about that. I hope that you can't really say shit to anything like that because honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Motherfucker comes to me, I say I'm going to a funeral. They ask me how I am. I'm gonna tell them it sucks. That's what I'm gonna say. So yeah, but just the same. Man, hey, keep your head up, brother. Also, respect to Jason Davis with the $2. Says Marvel should call you to pitch X-Men. You goddamn right they should. And I'm going to make my case right now because, you know, they say you don't want to get somebody who loves the property because they won't want to kill their darlings. Oh, no. Not me. Whew. I would do it.
Speaking of, have you read that book? It's a new book.
I think it's only got one issue out, right? It's only got the one issue out. Yeah, I like it so far. Yeah, I like it so far.
Yeah.
Okay. It's interesting. It's very interesting. You know what I just realized too? I realized it's been 2 weeks and I had not read the latest of Saga, which I figured out why they were on hiatus. It was actually for the writer strike.
So here's the deal.
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna respectfully tell you why I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Nisi #1 for calling me Pumpkin Spice Carter. Y'all are ridiculous right now.
Hey, man, it is what it is.
But the reason I don't care is
Mm-hmm.
because I saw that the new issue was out.
Mm-hmm.
I read that new issue.
Mm-hmm.
I got to the letters column as always,
Mm-hmm.
and saw that they were going on another hiatus.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about Saga anymore. I don't. I don't give a fuck.
I mean, I honestly don't blame him for. I don't blame them for going on hiatus again, largely because they took the writer strike seriously.
That part's
And,
fine.
and
Absolutely.
well, here's another thing you also have to take in consideration, Carter. The writer strike is over.
Yeah.
And it's very likely when that letters column was sent out, it was probably a month ago.
Great.
And they technically said it would only be on hiatus until it was over. And now it's over.
No. If I'm remembering correctly, they're not coming back until next year.
Oh, I mean, that's fine too. That's fine too.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's the case, that's fine. As a person who is now in, and I find myself saying this a lot, but I already had a deep and profound respect for how long it takes to get shit done, which is why I often tell people to calm the fuck down when something goes on hiatus or goes away for a while or takes a little bit longer to come out. But now that I am not only writing, drawing, and inking my own comic, yeah, I have a profound and deep respect for what a motherfucker says. That motherfucker gonna be out when it be out, or I'm taking a break, because that shit is hard.
Why do people come up with the nice name for you that I get? I don't mind Pumpkin Spice Carter. It's actually quite hilarious. But why do I get Pumpkin Spice Carter and you get the fucking Grill Master or the Grill King? Shit.
Actually,
like
I
that?
was grilling yesterday. Ooh, man, pork chops. It was so good.
And Go Sure his baby father. That sweater looks too large on you, pimp, because it's an oversized sweater.
I mean, it do look a little. I ain't gonna lie, it do look a little large though. It do look a little large. It's okay. It's okay though. It's okay.
That's the point though.
I mean that's
but
cool.
See, Irv Sweet and yeah. But why do you get Grill King?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna give you any. Like, I'm not gonna give you.
Makes me feel like the Shaman King.
Yeah. Like, I'm not gonna say anything about the Blerd Without Fear because you came up with that one yourself. Nobody gave it to you. But we ain't gonna even bring it. I don't know why didn't you keep Realist for Hire, huh?
I mean, to be fair, I would have, but that was already a channel, and I gave up on it. Yeah, that was already a channel.
I thought it was yours.
Well, okay, so
I
technically,
thought it was you, like it was one of them you forgot the passwords kind of deal.
No, I have all my passwords. No, it was well, let me actually rephrase that. Realist for Hire was not the name of the channel. It was just the moniker I used when I was running the Realist Lounge.
Gotcha.
Which don't go look it up. Don't go look it up. Please don't. But that said, that it was a different time. I was a different person. It's not saying you'll find anything problematic, but it's just the production was all over the place. I was really trying. Like, it was one of those things when I go back and look at like how hard I used to try to like make my channel a thing, and I'm just like, man, I sucked. But that said, Gilla Durant, man, with a 37 months, god damn, says salute. Hey, we appreciate you. Salute to you. We also got Go Consure's baby's father. I think you said, oh no, you didn't get this. Yeah. Says, Fei Long cried in school when he got hit with them yo mama jokes and being your parent and bring your parents to school day. What up, Puddin' Carter? But no,
I wonder if they called him Pepto in school.
Man,
he looks just like a walking bottle of Pepto-Bismol.
Well, okay, so the funny thing is he didn't look like that at first. He got the pink skin after he irradiated himself. Though he was oddly
the pink guy.
Well, he did look oddly orange though before that. So I don't know. Maybe that had something, or maybe it was a coloring issue. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie. Whenever I go back and look at that first issue of Jerry Duggan's X-Men, I'm like, oh man, they going back and doing Asian folks the way they used to do like Shang-Chi and them back in the day. Like draw motherfuckers looking orange as fuck. Like Asian people are not orange. We got Sifong, Architect of Sin, in here with the Blerd Club Diamond. By the way, shout out to the homie. By the way, also, because this is something I didn't know for the longest time. But I discovered it the other day because for those who do not know, Sifong is a mutual of not just the Blerd Cave, Blerd Without Fear channel, but also of the Beta Boy TV Twitch channel and Discord server, the House Beta. And some of you who I know, like, also are kind of like mutuals of both of those things, because, you're awesome people. You start to learn stuff about folks. And one thing I didn't know is that Sifong streams on Twitch. So go look up Sifong, Architect of Sin, over on Twitch. Also, go look up Beta Boy TV over on Twitch, because, Beta Boy's awesome. Also, the homie. Let's see here. What, I know I lost one somewhere in there. Let's see here. I'm just looking through all this. Okay, cool. So here's the deal. Oh God, no! Don't. Look, I'm laughing. Mr. Jr. say, who else has a video of Ernie's old channel queued up? Please don't. Please don't. Please don't. No. So I'll share it. So yeah, not only did I used to. So okay, Realist Lounge was my first actual YouTube channel. I made a second one called Pixels and Papers. That one was a so like Realist Lounge was like a general kind of like what we do here on the Blerd Cave, but I did it in like smaller videos. I did like movie reviews, video game reviews, TV reviews, whatever. So blah 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 blah. It was back during a time where I was like oddly invested in trying to be like Jeremy Johns.
Okay, so that you don't tell on yourself any further, I'm gonna tell you the one video I have seen from Realist for Hire, and that was literally the end of it. It was you playing Dragon's Crown.
Oh yeah, I did. We would do that, yeah. But no, Pixels and Papers, that was the other one. That was a board game, tabletop RPG focused one. Like if you go in there, you'll find I was doing like really in-depth board game like reviews, like like I'm talking about getting granular, like showing you how to play it and yada yada yada. Dude, oh my God, I hated myself when I did that because it was so much work. But
you gotta read this super chat though. You gotta read the super chat from Cynthia.
Oh, y'all. This is my beautiful wife. She says, with a $2 super chat says, Cersei says she loves y'all. Have a great show. Oh, well, you know what? Tell Cersei I love her back. Actually, I tell her I love her 1 trillion billion million. There you go. That's a thing, y'all. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But that said, you know what we're gonna do? Yeah, because that warmed the cockles of my heart to no end.
Yuck.
It's a thing, man. It's a thing. Carter, you know how last week I said that I wasn't really all that interested in Gen V?
Yeah.
I've changed my mind.
That's good.
I've changed my mind. Because you know what? That is the beauty of being a human. You have the option. Not just being a human, being an adult human. You don't have to double down. You often have the opportunity to admit that maybe, just maybe, you were wrong. And I can do that. I said last week, because actually this is a conversation technically Carter and I already had, when talking about what we were going to talk about when I jumped in the chat for the show. And it was like, oh, yeah. You said last week you weren't even all that interested in it. And I'm going to tell you why I wasn't all that interested in it and why we're talking about it today. Yeah. And I'm going to say something very inflammatory. Some people will probably disagree with me, Or, you know, I don't know. Sometimes when I think I have a very inflammatory take, it come to find out, a lot of people actually agree with me. Kind of like on Twitter when I said, I think there was a thread about Doctor Who saying like, give a controversial Doctor Who take.
Mhm.
And my controversial take was that Rose is whack.
Which one was Rose?
Rose was the blonde hair.
Don't even. I'm not even
You remember back when Destro was on the show? When Destro was Doctor Who?
That's why I didn't even want you to continue, because I have never watched any Doctor Who like that. I know who you talking about though, because I remember him for being the villain in Gone in 60 Seconds. That's how I know who you're talking about.
That too. A lot of people forget he was Destro in the first G.I. Joe movie.
I thought, oh no, I'm thinking of Cobra Commander. That was Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, that was Joseph Gordon-Levitt. No, and when I put that out there, a lot of people agreed with me, and they were like, "Yeah, dude, of course she's whack." Also, I felt bad for how much shrapnel Joanna Constantine got on that one. I call her Joanna Constantine, but her name was Clara Oswald on Doctor Who. But yeah, I was like, man, not only that, it's like Clara catches shrapnel out here. But no, so sometimes I have a take, and sometimes people agree with me. So that could be the case here. But no, I decided just on a whim. I was like, you know what? Gen V hasn't really showed me anything. Like, I mean, the trailers were cute, but I was like, this is just more of the boys. This is more of the boys. And yeah, that's fine, but it's nothing I was going to be like, oh, if I want to watch the boys, I'll just watch the boys. But I got to admit, Carter, I really like this show. Actually,
it was solid.
Actually, no, I'm going to say something. Well, you know what? This part is maybe the more inflammatory part of it, because like I said, we're only 3 episodes in. Yeah. But I actually kind of slick like this a little better
than the boys.
Yeah. Oh no! It just and I'm gonna tell you why.
This is spoiler free though.
Yeah, this is spoiler free. We're not talking spoilers or anything. So so please don't put any. We are gonna talk spoilers, but just not right this second.
Shout out to Gogo Cam, she's alive, Ernie.
What? You know what? I'm not gonna lie. Ever so often, I will see Cammy's name pop up on my Steam.
Yeah. And
it'll be like, Gogo Cammy is playing Dead by Daylight. I'll be like, aw. And then like a part of me instinctively goes to, man, let me boot up Dead by Daylight so I can run with her. And then I'll remember I don't have it installed. I'll be like, well, guess I'm playing Baldur's Gate now. Or actually lately I've been playing Cyberpunk 2077 and God, what was the other one? The Expanse. I got gifted a free copy of The Expanse. So yeah, maybe I'll talk about it next week on the show when I'm done with it, because we'll do that. But getting back to it. Old Gen V. I'm gonna tell you, Carter, and this, like I said, I've kind of buried the lead a little bit on this one, and I honestly don't even care. This show, and I'm gonna tell you, and I guess we're kind of doing this in reverse order. Normally, I'd wait to tell you what I think about something, but the reason why I like this show so much, and I think why it speaks to me specifically, probably more so than it does to anyone else. It is because this show is basically this is the X-Men show that you didn't know you wanted. Like right now, if for whatever reason, here, let's zoom this in a little bit because I want to show these folks off. If for whatever reason you're like, man, why doesn't anyone make an X-Men show? Like, just do that. It's so easy. And Amazon Prime, Jeff Bezos, I'm joking, Jeff Bezos does not make this, but I mean, he owns Amazon, so by proxy, I guess you could say he technically is, in some way, shape, form, or fashion made it possible. But this show is the closest thing y'all gonna get to an X-Men TV show in a long time. And not even just an X-Men show, but like it took me back to like those, I won't say the Chris Claremont era, like early like Chris Claremont era, but it took me back to like X-Men Volume 2. You know which one I'm talking about. You know which one I'm talking about, Carter. X-Men Volume 2, and if you don't know what that means, how many of y'all motherfuckers, and I know it's going to be a lot of you motherfuckers, remember this cover?
Oh, of course.
It took me back. Yeah, this a lot of people don't realize this is Volume 2. So it was the first relaunch of X-Men. It was back when Jim Lee was on the book.
Gotcha.
And that era, first off, let me go back. No, put some respect on it. This cover, I can't tell you, this comic is actually part of the reason why comics aren't worth shit. Because so many people have this comic, and not just this comic, but they got the fucking trade. And Marvel re-released they did so many reprints of this issue that, yeah, like if you combine this with all the foil covers, with all the hologram covers, all the reprint covers, all the variant covers, all the Death of Superman, and just that whole debacle with how many times that, like, this and Death of Superman are probably the two comics most responsible for why comics aren't worth shit today. At least like how they used to be. So I've given you my preface here on why that speaks to me. So this show, first off, the way it opens is amazing. I love all the characters and everything involved in it, but I like the focus. And this part right here is not a spoiler. So, admittedly, it was probably more obvious from the trailers, but like I said, the trailers I saw, I just didn't feel like I didn't feel like the trailers were telling me enough to get me invested, like from the jump.
Yeah.
But I really, really, really appreciate like what this show focuses on. And it's not to say that it doesn't focus on the other characters. But one specific one that I really appreciate that it focuses on is what's her name? Jazz Sinclair, who plays Marie Moreau. I was not expecting her to get as much focus. Not saying I didn't think she'd be focused on, but I didn't think she was gonna get quite this amount of focus on the show. And I was very, very happy, very pleasantly surprised to see how much focus she actually got on this. Also, her power is really cool. So
not at first. Gross. Not at first. It's kind of gross.
Well, I mean, yeah, it is gross. Don't get me wrong. Her power is fucking disgusting. But I love the fact that a bloodbender is a whole thing in this.
That's the one cool thing about it. But the one thing about, and I guess we can say it even though they do make it a point to say it at the beginning of every episode. Basically, her power is she can control her blood to attack and do certain things like that.
Yeah.
But for anybody that's kind of squeamish or anything like that, because she's literally cutting herself to use that ability. So that's just one kind of trigger warning for everybody when it comes to her. But like you said, the power, I mean, it's dope to do. I feel like you couldn't really use it long because shouldn't you pass the fuck out just from using all your blood and stuff?
Well, no, that's the beauty of it. I think that's actually kind of, well, I mean, that is definitely one thing about the Boys universe, especially, well, more, honestly, I feel like it's more in the Amazon Prime series. It wasn't so much a thing in the comics. Like, having weird weeknesses was more the show, because they had to, like, put something behind it. So, like, a lot of these kids that are on the show that have superpowers, a lot of them have some kind of a weird drawback
to it. Yeah.
Right. Well, and not only that, but like a lot of them have powers that are just absolutely busted. A lot of them have powers that are absolutely like one of the guys we'll talk about. Now, like I said, we're in spoiler. We're in non spoiler territory here. One of those characters is your boy, literally Golden Boy.
Yeah.
His power destroys his clothes. So he's walking around
the Human Torch.
butt naked.
He's the Human Torch.
Yeah.
Without the Reed Richards assist on clothing.
Yeah. They actually tease it, but then like in the like early on. But also, do you want to know something? I don't know if you know this about this cat. Do you know who he is?
I do now because everybody in the chat keeps asking.
Oh, okay. I don't have chat. I had chat was like behind something right now. But yeah, that's Patrick Schwarzenegger.
Because I don't want some dickhead to spoil. So I got.
Oh yeah, you good.
Ready. So,
you good. But yeah, no,
I did not know that.
Yeah, see, I knew this before, like when they were, because initially when the show was when it was announcing his casting, a lot of people were making a big deal of the fact that Arnold Schwarzenegger's son was going to be on the show. And I was like, dude, okay, cool. And then I didn't really think much of it from there. And then when I started the show, I was like, oh, wait, that's him. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. But yeah, I like that part. Like, there's another character on the show as well. I'm trying to remember her name right now, and I'm blanking.
But Emma.
Well, there is her. There is her, but she wasn't the one I was actually thinking about at the moment. I was thinking about Golden Boy's girlfriend. Kate, thank you. She has her. I mean, the drawback on her power isn't anything that's like, oh my god, it's nothing like earth shattering or groundbreaking, but like her power is that she can basically compel people to do whatever she wants. Basically, she's Purple Man. She's Kilgrave. She's Kilgrave, more or less. She can basically tell you to do something and you will be compelled to do it. But her thing is like she can't use it too much because gives her headaches. Makes her feel. It makes it. Well, that I'm once again staying out of spoiler territory.
Yeah.
I'm being as vague as humanly possible.
And a lot of these were already explained. Because like I was just telling Ernie before we started the show, there's another character we're gonna get to. I couldn't really nail down what their power was. I couldn't tell if I'd fast forwarded or something like that. And then I had to go on IMDb, which had like stills and stuff, or like product placement kind of previews for each character, which explained what their powers were. So these are stuff you can find on IMDb about the show very easily. It's not spoilers.
No. Emma, now the character you were talking about at first, Emma, her thing hers is fucked up. Because her whole thing is like she can shrink,
which we've seen before.
We've seen that before, but it's how she does it. I don't want to spoil that part because I feel like that part's actually something you kind of want to figure out on your own. But the way she does it is really like fucked up.
One thing I will say. Because if you can go back to that shot with her with the camera on her.
Yeah.
She's basically she's a YouTuber.
Yeah, she's a YouTuber.
And the one thing I will say about the show is content creators. Whew.
Oh yeah. No, they talk mad shit. Like not even as content creators, but like just influencers in general. Influencers, like social media personalities. Dude, they can't do. Y'all, I'm not gonna lie. And speaking as a whole YouTuber, they talk about me, so I'm cool because they're not talking about people who do what I do. They're talking about people who are terminally on Instagram, on Twitter, doing TikTok, showing them doing like dumb shit or like spreading gossip and all the other shit. They ain't talking about me. So like the whole time they were doing it, I was like I was I kind of felt like I was that means like, yeah, they ain't talking about me. But no,
one of the,
yeah. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, with Emma is it's gonna be very interesting to see where her character goes throughout the
Yes.
rest of the season. I don't know, man, how many episodes this first season is gonna be.
I think
But
it's 8.
okay,
That's
just
what that's what
from
IMDb says. IMDb says 8.
oh, got you. So just from episode 3, which I know you haven't finished, I've watched all
No.
3 episodes. It's like I said, it's gonna be really dope to see what they do with her.
Yeah.
My favorite character, and the only see, I want to say this is my favorite character, even though they were a douche. It's just because of the way Eric Kripke and everyone else behind the show. It's the way they did it, how they put their spin on it, and which is Jordan Lee.
Yeah.
Because I was telling Ernie about this before we started the show. I was telling another buddy of mine, just letting him know if how I felt about the show. So we have the character on there, Jordan Lee. 1 minute, now it might confuse you when you watch the show, or if you look at there's a picture I saw on Amazon when they were talking about that particular character, because you're gonna see 2 people. And
yeah. Like I actually with the image I pulled up first, which is kind of funny. You actually see them
yes
in the same. You see them in the same picture at the same time.
Yeah.
These 2 characters right here.
Yeah.
They are like legit.
They're the same person.
Yeah, they're the same person. Like matter of fact, this is actually their ability is to shapeshift, but they can only shapeshift into like the same male or female form.
Yeah. So to me, I thought that was just a dope way to do a trans character in the board,
or just gender fluidity in general, because like they were all like
they call them bi gender. I think is what they say.
Yeah, or I think they said or something like that. Yeah.
Well, that was what Ashley said.
Well, okay. So when there's a point where it's being talked about where like they're referring to like overall what she was referring to was just how that was basically just a really fast way for her to say that the person was LGBTQIA plus, like just talking about how like they had they had like they were talking about like their they them pronouns and the fact that because of the fact that they are both male and female they can be both male and female, that like their bisexuality.
There you go. Will the Greatest just said, they're literally bi gender, and so I thought that was dope. And when Jordan is the guy, he has it's kind of like Legion almost.
Yeah.
Depending on who they are, they have different powers. Right. So when Jordan's a guy, he is super durable and has super strength. When Jordan's a girl, she is super agile and can throw energy blasts and shit like that.
Yeah, she's also faster. Like she's faster, more agile, has energy. It's like a really weird way to do like Aurora and North Star, but like also cool at the same time.
So yeah, I think that's my favorite character, because I'm like that's a neat way to do that. That's actually I even though again they're an ass. But
they're a whole asshole.
I think that's a really dope way to do that.
Also liked now this character you don't really, at least not in the first couple of episodes, you get a little bit of time with them, and that oh god, what was that guy's name? Why am I forgetting his name?
I don't know why I want to say Andre.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I want to say that as well, but I don't think that's the case.
Him Andre, maybe.
I'm not 100%. I'm blanking on this cat's name, but I'm just gonna pull him up and. Y'all
already doing it now.
Y'all will probably.
It is Andre. I was right.
Andre Anderson. Yeah. So there you go. Please. So yeah, this cat right here, who's pretty awesome. I dig the character. Like of all of them, I'm not gonna lie. He's probably the one that I might relate with a little bit better than most, just because he's just that cat that's just kind of there. He's just kind of there. He's not really like he's into the whole like because that's another thing I think we didn't talk about either. What they call the school.
Real quick,
go ahead.
Does he look like he should be in one of the Jackson movies? Like, I don't know why.
Well, you think that's one of the lost children of 3T?
Like, dude, I don't know why. I just kept thinking of like the Jackson movie. I'm like, that dude looked like he could be like Jermaine Jackson or something. Like, I don't know.
You probably wouldn't be wrong. You probably
like I
wouldn't
could
be
just
wrong.
see him being in the Jackson movie. I don't know.
Chance Perdomo is the actor's name, by the way. But see what? Okay, so what I know him from is from the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. That's what I knew him from. I did like because he was on that show.
I watched that show.
He was Ambrose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, okay.
But so okay, that show was a while ago. Well, not a while ago, but like he looked a little bit younger. He looked a little bit. Also, so is what's her face? The girl that plays.
Jazz Sinclair.
Yeah, Jazz Sinclair.
Yeah.
She was also from that show as well. So yeah, I thought that was actually pretty cool. But yeah, I like his character. His character is very interesting.
Out of all these misfits,
He's basically Magneto. That's basically what he's basically like. I don't mean in terms of attitude, but in terms of power.
he's probably the like out of all these characters might be the one that's like as decent of a human being as you can get when it comes to the boys.
In this universe, yeah. But no, I thought it was funny because I guess maybe I didn't see any of this promotion, but like the school that they go to is was it Godolkin? Godolkin University, but it's often referred to as God U. Which I thought was kind of funny, a little irreverent. I can jive with stuff like that. But yeah, what I liked about the show a lot is I don't want to say camaraderie because not every character gets along with every character, but the clashing of personalities, it very much reminded me of that era of Jim Lee X-Men. Like when we see the characters like just hanging out, going out places, some of them are ribbing each other, giving each other a hard time, so on and so forth. Sometimes they get along, sometimes they don't. There's some that get along better with others. There's cliques. I thought like that's what it reminded me of. Like I don't know if Eric Kripke was like trying to go for that. Yeah. But if he was, he nailed it. But there's no way that you could tell me he was not reading some Jim Lee X-Men when he was writing this. You can't convince me otherwise. Like if he said he wasn't, I would call him a liar to his face.
So just real quick, for any Supernatural fans out there, you actually do get a supernatural actor in Gen V. I'm not gonna say who it is. I'm not gonna say what to do, but it's actually pretty funny because we had one. We had some in the boys, of course, with Jensen Ackles, and then we had Bobby as one of the politicians. In the
Bobby.
Now we have a supernatural, another one coming over here. I think it'll shock some people who it is, but so that is something for a lot of Supernatural fans to look out for.
I dig it. I dig it. I dig it a lot. It's the whole premise of the show, and once again, its focus on Marie Moreau as a character. Dude, her origin is just fucked up. That's all I can really say about it. It's her origin, everything that she's dealing with on that show. I'm just like, bruh. Like I was like, y'all do this girl dirty as hell. But it speaks to me because her character is such that it makes sense. Like her character is such that it makes sense. Like her character is very realistic. For a character that is someone with superpowers that exists in a world where superheroes are real. and once again, I'm not going to go too deep off into that, but just the way that it was handled, the way that they gave her like the way they set it up, because like when I was watching the show initially, because that's kind of what they open with. The longer when I was like, oh wow, I wonder which direction are they going to go? Because at one point they kind of seemed like there was going to be a tease. They kind of kept teasing what was going to happen, but didn't actually lean into it. And then like by the time they actually did reveal, like, oh, okay, this is what's going on in that scene. It doesn't take long, but just like there were a couple moments I was like, oh, this is where one of these two characters is going to wind up getting, powers or whatever. Oh no, this is where it's going to be. Oh no, this is, whoa, wow, this is where it is. Oh, damn. All I'm gonna say is, as a father of a little girl, I'm terrified.
Real quick, I don't think this will be a spoiler at all, but she's saying, oh yeah, they lied to the public, telling everybody who have superpowers got their powers from God in this universe. Incorrect.
No.
Because Gen V, this is not a prequel or anything like that.
No.
This is a sequel to The Boys, so everyone knows that their parents did this shit to them when they were babies.
Yeah, the word is out.
Yeah, the word is out at this point that this was something the parents did.
Yeah. I will also say in conjunction with that, while I don't think you necessarily putting it out there, this is in fact actually in lockstep with the current season, or rather takes place after the current season of The Boys. I will also say, while you don't necessarily have to have watched The Boys in order to enjoy this, it does help. It does help. There's lots of little Easter eggs and nods, but there's not if you are a person who just was not interested in The Boys, but this in some way sounds interesting to you, you can get away with having not watched.
I would recommend everyone watch it, to be completely honest with you, because I wasn't as whatever to it as Ernie was, just because I remember seeing one thing that said Eric Kripke, because with a lot of these shows, if they do have a big name behind it, that big name only did like maybe the first 2 episodes, and then that shit went off to someone else. With this, Eric Kripke apparently did every episode, so that's my
understanding of it.
Yeah, so that kind of made me want to kind of check the show out, and I won't say that I'm where Ernie is right now. I'm thinking I'm enjoying this more than The Boys, but I think if you were somebody who was kind of whatever to it because you had this idea in your head of what you assumed it would be,
one episode.
Stop assuming and just watch it and figure it out for yourself. I will say there were some instances where fast forward button was hit with me, but all in all, for those 3 episodes, and I also forgot, like, Amazon doesn't do just every episode at one time. They just do like 1, 2, 3, and then your ass got to wait. For these 3 episodes, I had fun with it. I had a lot of fun with it. So this is a solid spinoff.
Yeah, at least I like it. It's it doesn't bother me that they release them as if it was like a normal TV show. That I'm fine with that, because I grew up with TV like that, so it's never an issue to me. Not to mention, I think Eric Kripke has been very open about the fact that the reason he does is because that's how the show is meant to be watched. It's meant to be watched like week to week. It's not remember like how, and I think anyone who remembers early days Netflix, and honestly Netflix kind of still has this problem to this day, how when you would watch a Netflix show, it always felt like this is just a really long movie. Because like they basically shot it's kind of like the same issue. Remember when we I think was it you and me talking about The Continental not too long ago? Talking about how like they dropped
it was 3 episodes, and you said okay, so it was a movie.
It was a movie. Yeah, it was a movie. They just chopped it up. And that's what Netflix used to do a lot of the time, is they would shoot everything, and the way it was always edited, it just kind of felt like, oh, well, yeah, there weren't any, I mean, yeah, there were cliffhangers sometimes, but I feel like Eric Kripke has a better handle on how to do that. considering, you know, what he came from. The amount of television that he's that he's written in his lifetime, he knows how to do it more expertly, and I feel like that is why this works. As for what I said earlier about the comparison, I think also just for me, I don't like it. I feel like sometimes with maybe it's just an Eric Kripke thing in general. Sometimes he can get a little extra with some of the stuff that he writes into stuff. Like there's a part with Emma that I was just like, bruh. I was like, y'all didn't have to do this.
I think that was more so because we're the boys that's expected at this point. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. No, but it's also that thing too where like I feel like it's the same way I feel about a lot of comics. Like, and I think I've made no secret about this. Like some of my favorite comics are stuff that's more street level.
Yeah. Like
I'm a Daredevil guy. And while Moon Knight technically deals in supernatural shit, Moon Knight's still street level. Even though Black Panther is about a guy who literally used to run a nation, still, especially right now, street level. I like street level. And that's kind of what I feel like. Yeah, not saying this is street level, but I feel like, yeah, when you get to the boys, you start getting to like government conspiracies and it goes all the way to the top. And while this is technically in the same universe, I feel like this is more grounded, and I like that better. Not to mention, I don't really hate anybody. Like, because in the boys, there's a lot of characters I just don't like.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like Huey. I don't even really like Butcher. And honestly, you're not supposed to. But I don't even like Huey a lot of the time either, because Huey's a bitch. And while he was a bitch in the comics, he's really a bitch in this. In the boys TV show. Like, it's like Mother's Milk is like one of the Mother's Milk, Himiko, and Friendship. They're like the only three like protagonists on the show. I'm just like, and then Starlight. I'm like, okay, y'all are cool, but everybody else, y'all suck.
Marie in this.
Was that?
I kind of felt like that in regards to Marie in this. Honestly, I kind of felt that way about a lot of the cast. Like,
you don't like teenagers though.
But
like myself, I don't like teenagers either, but you know.
A lot of them don't really come off as likable until you actually finish episodes. And then layers kind of start getting peeled. And I sound so say that, but
I will say I will disagree with you just in the sense that I kind of saw the writing on the wall for a lot of them. Like, even though I haven't seen episode 3, I can already see like the layers and the breadcrumbs, the things that have been dropped and hinted at just in the first 2 episodes. I can kind of see where their character arcs are going to take them. So I can go on that.
And that's completely, that's valid. But that's why I think that's more so coming from me, because again, even though I did enjoy it, I did fast forward some instances there, so I may have missed out on.
You probably did.
So you know
I bet you did.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the only reason I would say that. For sure. But again,
look at this man fast forwarding through stuff, missing content. Lord,
but again,
not in this economy.
We've both said it. Gen V is solid. It is solid.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
But honestly, you know what? Sometimes that's why I'm a little hard on shit sometimes. Because especially something like this, because pull back the curtain a little bit. Some of my most favorite things in life are often things I didn't think I would like.
Yeah.
Like I always like to use Dance Dance Revolution as an origin story. I used to make fun of people for playing that game. I used to be the guy that would laugh at people who played that game because I thought it looked stupid. And one day somebody told me, like literally the thing I tell people to do all the time now, it was a lesson. It was a life lesson that stuck with me. And this one dude I was making fun of was like, you try it. And I was like, fuck out of here with that. He was like, I'm not wasting my money on this shit. Yeah. And he was like, I'll pay for your turn. He's like, you talking shit? I'll pay for your turn. Let's see how good you are.
I like and when you tried to make it seem like that was some real big shit. That was literally $1.
Man, look, I was poor, man. Leave me alone. I was poor, had bills, I had utilities, rent, car note, insurance. Look,
Come on, Dad.
look, no. And I didn't have no big boy job. I was literally working a third key position at Spencer's, man. Leave me alone.
Oh, see, I thought this was GameStop era. Okay.
No, God. I was like, this is when I was in my early 20s. I was in my early 20s.
That boy said third key. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
third key, dude. I was a sales associate, man. I was literally a half step above a regular ass person.
I hope that's still not a thing. Third
Yes,
key.
it is. Yes,
That's
it is.
a man. Stop. Y'all got to change that ugly ass name. We got keys to open that motherfucker up, we're basically management now. Suck my dick.
No, that's well, you know what? They may not call it third key, but like that, it was still being called third key when I was still doing like my last management job. It was still called. Some places like big box stores may call it something different, but like most places still call it third key, far as I know. But no, what I was saying, just like, yeah, when I didn't use my money because clearly the other person used theirs. But then I realized, as much shit as I was talking, I actually really enjoyed it. So I ended up, that actually made me a fan. And so that's kind of why, like, when I see people talking shit, I'm like, man, try it. Don't talk shit till you've seen it or tried it for yourself.
You took your own advice, but here's the question: are you going to take your own advice in that regard when it comes to One Piece?
I did watch One Piece.
I'm talking about all of it.
Oh, you talking about the anime?
Mm-hmm.
The anime?
Mm-hmm.
I already told you. I've tried to watch it 3 times. I've watched about 50 episodes of One Piece. If I still don't like you after 50 episodes, guess what? 1,000 more ain't gonna change that. I've actually tried to watch One Piece more than you have. So I think you might want to calm down, sir.
I just watched the wrong version of it.
No, I have watched, and mind you when I say this, I've watched the version you watched.
Oh,
I watched the Fox 4 Kids version, but I also watched the more, like, the actual, like, subtitled, the way it was supposed to be seen version. I have tried that version 3 different times. I have seen some of the movies. People keep telling me, like, there was one dude was like, oh, start from the beginning. Another dude was like, oh, no, start at this episode. Another dude said, no, start that episode. Start, like, this much later. And I was like, and all 3 times, I was like, this shit's still trash.
I think Cammy is a One Piece fan. She talking about the Grand Line. So that's where your ass been.
Oh, yeah, Lord. I'm good.
That's why she been missing. She been playing Dead by Daylight and looking for the Grand Line.
Man, look, hey, good luck with that. But no, and yeah, like I said, we I think it's safe to say though, yeah, we liked it. We liked it. Now we get more into like the spoiler stuff. But before we actually say anything about spoilers, I actually want to touch on some stuff real quick before we do that. We got the Elite X1 with the $5 says, Ernie, I see how you pulled that Bill Cosby working on artwork at the beginning of a Fat Albert episode shit in one of your last videos. I did actually. I think it was the Iron Man video, I think. I don't remember what intros I shot for what. But no, there was that one. And the thing is, I actually was working on it. That's the funny part. I actually was working on it. Then I realized I had to shoot the video. Like, I was like, oh shit, I haven't done a video for Iron Man yet. And I was like, I was actually already working on it. That's why I had it pulled up. But, and I was like, fuck it, I'll just, throw it in there. Cause like when I hit record, I realized my XP pin, which you can kind of see like over here. You could see it, and I was like, oh, shit, that's in the shot. And I was like, well, fuck it, we'll just leave it. I was like, we'll just leave it. We also got S-Thomp 10 with the $5 says, what's up, Carter and Ernie? I love the content you guys put out. By the way, my only problem with Baldur's Gate 3 is that it rips off Stranger Things. Huh?
That's a you. That's all you.
How does it rip off Stranger Things?
Oh, boy.
Wait, are you talking about having the Underdark? Because the Underdark has been in Dungeons and Dragons since like the 80s. Or maybe they were being funny, because technically Stranger Things uses a lot of D&D. Maybe I don't know if it's someone. I don't know if they're joking or if they're like being dead ass serious.
And the crowd went silent.
Yeah, I don't know. But no, if they're joking, I get it. But no, if they're being dead ass, that's another story altogether. I can't help you with that one. Romy Forever with the $5 says, Gen V question: do you guys think Schwarzenegger's son looks like Jack Harkness from Doctor Who / Torchwood? No, no lie. If you would have told me that that was his son, what was the actor's name? I keep forgetting the dude's name.
He was a villain on Arrow, right?
Yeah, he was a villain on Arrow. John Barrowman. Thank you.
Okay.
John Barrowman. Yeah, he does look like John Barrowman. God damn, he does. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Yeah, this motherfucker look like John Barrowman. I don't. That ain't Schwarzenegger's. That ain't Schwarzenegger's kid. I'm gonna pull up a picture. I want y'all to see this shit. This is John Barrowman. This is John Barrowman. And then this is your boy right here. This Jack. Yeah, no, you can't convince that. That's John's boy. That's John's boy. That ain't Schwarzenegger's kid.
So
That ain't Schwarzenegger's kid.
Schwarzenegger tapped the maid, and his lady tapped John Barrowman. Sick.
Right? Hey, look. Say, hey, two could play that game. Two could play that game. Then we got Dolls OK Williams with $5. Didn't even say anything. Just putting money in the pot. Look at that. Just that's love right there. We got Extra with 37 months is dropping my like off and back to my vacay. Bam! Ooh, I ain't mad at you on that one, man. Dude, I'm not mad at you on that one. Oh shit, let's go back because we got some more here. Man, we got another one here. We got your boy Javon with the 1999 first time super chat says, woo! Finally caught up. I feel like the chocolate bar guy from SpongeBob. I truly appreciate what you do, brother. Hey, thank you. Much appreciated. Hey, glad you could make it. And thank you for that first super chat, man. And coming in, look. Throwing down the gauntlet with the super chat. Also, we got another one here from the homie Gearless Mo out here. And and while technically they hit us with $100, I'm still gonna hit it. Gotta hit it. Also, in reverence to the recent trailer of Final Fantasy, the next chapter of Final Fantasy Rebirth, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. But it says, can't say, gotta go adult. But want to stop by and say thanks. Watching the stream later. Get those likes up. Goddamn you right. Look, don't make me have to go look. Don't make me have to go look and see. Because if I have to go look and see, we're gonna have a problem. Okay? We're gonna have a problem. Let's see what we got here. All right, look, we got 224 people and I only see 147 likes, man. We need to hook it up. Hook it up. Here, let's kill that for a sec. Where is my chat? Where'd chat go? Here we go. We got it right here in front of us. Man, we got the got the homie Antoine Mitchell out here. Poor Archery Media with $5 is just dropping through to show some love to everyone out here working on a mural while watching, listening to the cave until my battery dies. Oh no, not like that. Not like this. Hey, but you know what? Hey, thank you for that. And look, man, means a lot, brother. Means a lot. Look. Phone battery is important. Okay.
Yeah.
He's putting it on us.
Yeah, see, I didn't read working on a mural. I thought he was out here listening to mural, and I'm like, that is a very fire Lupe Fiasco song, by the way.
Oh Lord, this for those who don't know, Antoine Mitchell, Pro Archery Media here in the chat is the creator, writer, artist, colorist, everything for Sankofa's Embrace. So,
all right, real quick. Literally just liked this video because of Blerd Without Fear said something. You see the power you have. This is why I tell you, they're not here for us. They're here for you. That boy did as he was told immedially with extreme prejudice. Ain't no telling how hard he left clicked that like button. You see the power you have over people. They're not here for me. They're here for your ass. I told you, dog.
Well, to be fair, not all of them, because someone took the opportunity to so I think this was in the Ms. Marvel video. I don't know who, I can't remember who it was that I can't remember the exchange because I've slept since then, but there was someone in the comments that was like, I see a Blerd Without Fear video and I click the like button. That's just how this works. And someone else came along and replied to that comment and says, I do the opposite. Like, they were proud of that shit. And then someone else started clowning them in the comments. And I was like, man, you know what? I was like, thank you for that. Like y'all literally be holding it down for your boy in the comment section. I'm not mad at you. Yeah, here we go. We got Levesto Samurai with the $5. Says, been playing Baldur's Gate 3. Got to stop being nice to my allies because all of them trying to smash. Like, chill. Dude, let me tell you something. So, okay, there's one reason that's happening with one character specifically. Gale, the wizard that you can recruit. Apparently, there was a bug in the game, and it's recently been patched. But there was a bug that made Gale go down the romance route in the dialogue tree with you, even if you never said anything that hinted that you were even remotely interested in him. So I thought that was kind of funny. But yeah, motherfuckers, dude, they all be trying to smash. And I love how they leave the door open for so many characters. Like, if you pick a different companion to romance, they'll be like, you sure? But right now, I'm on my third playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3. I'm back in my evil campaign. I got Minthara, the dark elf paladin.
Yeah.
And dude, I'm gonna tell you right now, I hate Larian right now because they hid one of the most interesting characters behind some of the most devious actions in the game that you can take. Minthara is a drow who you can only romance if you kill a lot of people or allow a lot of people to die. And it makes it like it's funny because they make it seem like she's just so evil. But like, if you actually, it's one of those deals. It's kind of crazy. It's like, yeah, it's like, man, I know he's an asshole, but you just gotta, you don't know him like I do. They got me out here. They got me out here sipping for one of the most evil motherfuckers you meet in Act 1. But yeah, I will definitely say, there's a mod you can get where someone like actually took that out and made it to where you can actually get Minthara in the party without losing. Because if you try to go the Minthara route, you lose pretty much almost. Well, I won't say almost, but like characters like Karlach and Will leave your party if you go that direction. And I gotta have Karlach because Karlach is awesome. So anyway, Will is too, but I like Karlach better. Sorry, I know. Take my black card. I'm sorry. Let's see here. We got one here from Jason Davis with $10. Says, was Nightcrawler right in regards to his inner monologue when he was talking to Spider-Man about how he gets a pass in society because he's not a mutant, while mutants always have to prove themselves? I mean, he's not wrong. I mean, here's the thing about Spider-Man. Spider-Man still has to deal with his own bullshit. Like, Spider-Man has spent a long time being hated in New York by a lot of people. And sometimes, depending on what day of the week it is, he might be hated. Some people love him, some people hate him. But he also wears a mask. And I think that's also more to do with it than anything else. Like, honestly, if he showed his face, not that he has a fucked up face or anything, but like, people would probably be more inclined to wonder if Spider-Man was really like a mutant. And some people do wonder if he's a mutant, but I think Spider-Man, while he's not as openly public about how he got his powers the way that like Captain America is, I do remember recently they had that interview. Was it during Nick Spencer? Was it during Nick Spencer's run with Spider-Man where him and Jay Jonah had that sit down? I don't remember.
Maybe. It may have been because that was Jonah's suit he was wearing.
Someday like later on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think people are just a little bit more aware of how Spider-Man operates now that there's no confusion. That said, man, we also got the homie Beta Boy TV out here with the 1999 super chat. Says Karlak Smash. Karlak Smash scene is #1 so far. Yeah, Karlak is wild. I think Minthara might be just a little bit wilder, but Karlak is wild. It's like it's one of those, like, I kind of felt like there was a part. There's I don't want to say because it might be kids watching. There's a part where I almost had to use a Marrow quote, like, man, she can get him off from the back. But no, here I'm hitting the danger button for myself. Danger. But no, that's it. Let's see here. Yes, Spider-Man is a human mutate. Yes, that is correct. He is not a mutant. A distinction I often have to make to people when they ask what the difference is a human mutate is someone who got their powers later in life. They weren't born with them. Their body was literally mutated by an outside stimulus, and they gained powers. If you're born with your powers, that is technically what makes you a mutant. Yeah, Beta Boy said that settles an evil run next. Yeah, no, Minthara's wild. Also, I will recommend, if you can get Minthara, like I said earlier, you can get Minthara if you want to play good. If you go on Nexus mods, there's you don't even have to look that hard for it. If you just type in Minthara, there's actually a mod that says, I forget the name of it exactly, and I will actually pull it up so that y'all can see it. But yeah, there's actually a mod where it basically it allows you to still maintain. Yeah, here it is. Right here, bam. It's called Daughter of Lolth Minthara Good Recruitment. If you're playing on PC, this is the mod to get. This mod basically makes it where when you see, I got it. It says, look, you last downloaded, bam, right there. But no, basically the mod makes it where you can still carry through with all your actions as a good character, but you can also because if you play as a good character, full disclosure, you have to kill Minthara. You have to. There's no getting around it. Or at the very least, you got to knock her out. You can opt to knock her out. But like, you're not recruiting her if you don't do the thing. So, but they made it where you can actually recruit her in the second act of the game. You just won't get her right away. So yeah, there you go. Now, let's see what we got here. Will it make sense story-wise? Yes, it will. Like I said, if you talk to Minthara, you learn a lot about her as a character. So, yeah. I'm going to move back on to spoilers because I can tell Carter is getting bored. He is tired of the Baldur's Gate 3 talk. He is tired. He has said no mas.
Listen to this.
Yes.
Is Spider-Man still being cucked in the comics? If so, why don't he call up all them females he got on speed dial? That's why I was looking like that, because I was trying to figure out.
This I didn't realize he was getting cucked.
That's why I look like that.
How is he getting cucked?
That's what I was confused by.
Because, well, I will say this. I don't know if he's referring to the fact that like him and Black Cat just kind of recently. Yeah. Like they were kind of going down the route. And maybe something changed. I don't know. Maybe something changed. But one of the more recent issues of Spider-Man, and I think it might have even been in that annual that came out recently. But I seem to remember, because Mary Jane is staying with Paul.
Yeah.
However, while it did seem like they were going to go in the direction of Peter and Felicia realized that, I forget the exact reasoning, but basically she realized that they should probably just stay friends. That was basically the Cliff Notes version of it. For one reason, I don't remember the exact reason because I'm not going to lie, my eyes kind of glazed over while I was reading it because I was reading it like 3 o'clock in the morning.
You told me more than I know because I was sitting here
Yeah.
trying to figure out some kind of response to what he said, but I didn't even know he is with Felicia. I thought that was still the whole
Yeah, they were messing around.
smash occasionally, but that's pretty much the beginning and end of it.
Well, no, so they were dating. Like, they were
Was
openly
this in
dating.
the Black Cat Mary Jane book?
No, this was in the Spider-Man one too. Now, they talked about it more. Like, Felicia talked to MJ about it more in that book. But it was a thing, like, in some of the recent issues of Spider-Man, they even, like, went on dates, and they went to a wedding together, and they went as a couple. Yeah, there are something along those lines. That said, we got Gokon Shrews Baby's father with $5 says Nightcrawler better than me, bro, because a person says racist bull. When I save him, we'll get teleported into the ocean. Oh, trust me. That's why I'm not like, if I had superpowers, I wouldn't be a super villain. But like, there would be lots of people who thought I was. Yeah, because if I save somebody and they start saying some racist shit about black folks, oh, trust me, I am literally going to teleport them right into the heart of the worst parts of Memphis.
I was really hoping
Yeah.
when that blonde little jogger freaked out. I know he's a good guy and Kurt's always going to be a good guy, especially right now, but I was at least like, my fingers were crossed that I turned the page and he at least just dropped the bitch on the concrete. Like, they were in the park, so I was really hoping he just dropped the bitch like that. Like,
that's what I was hoping. How
you racist, but you homeless living in the park? Sarsaparilla is a menace.
Yeah.
Because all those were homeless people. I don't know if a lot of you all know that, if you read that Nightcrawler Spider-Man book.
Yeah.
That group of people that came up to him, even though they had phones and shit, those were homeless.
Yeah, those homeless people.
Still fucking horrible people.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I think it just kind of went to show that, like, it doesn't matter what your situation is. You can still... It was a very realistic thing. It was a very... Because, like, I don't know if I ever told you this, Carter. I used to work downtown Memphis. I used to work security downtown Memphis. And, you know, you get to see homeless people of every color, creed, whatever. And I can't tell you how many times, like, I would give some white guy or white woman, you know, some money because, you know, they were, you know, on hard times, whatever. And I just had a moment of, I don't like saying moment of weakness, but I actually did have a policy working downtown that I could not give people money, at least not visibly, because then they would always come back wanting it. So I would usually do other things. Like maybe I would, like if I knew they were going into like a restaurant or something to try and see if they can get some money, I would always be like, hey, hook so-and-so up. Don't tell them it was me. I would do stuff like that because you know, I literally worked in the same section of downtown every day. So I became literally like a lightning rod the first time I ever gave somebody money.
He's the one that's going, okay.
Yeah, they're like, oh no, it's gonna be him. He gonna give me the money. But no, but that said, when I saw that section, it broke my heart, but it reminded me of that. I was like, oh, because I guess I didn't finish that part of it. There have been white people I've given money to downtown that were homeless that would literally the next day, you know, call me a whole hard R. So yeah. Or if they didn't say anything racist to me, they said something racist to somebody else or around me, thinking either... they either thought that I wouldn't hear it or find out about it or just didn't give a fuck. Or didn't realize I was paying attention or whatever, some shit. It was always dumb shit like that.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. It is what it is. Speaking of, man, dude, you know what? Oh my God. Man, you know what we got in here, Carter? Got the Ultimate Tekken Tag Tournament Champion in here. We got Super Mishima in here. Well, with the first $5 super chat. Over here speculating the Kojima version of the Boys of Prey. Konami, don't screw up these remakes. Well, I think the good news is I don't think they're changing anything. Because as I read, if we're talking about the Metal Gear re-releases that are coming up and the Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater remake, which is actually my favorite Metal Gear game, they're not redoing any voices for it. So that largely means the only thing that'll probably change is certain gameplay elements, if that. And then like the actual graphical quality of the game, obviously. But it seems like story-wise it's going to be the same game.
Oh no, man.
I mean, I'm hopeful for it.
Oh no, I'm hopeful because it's Snake Eater, but at the same time, this is Konami.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean.
The silent heels that they will poop out.
Yeah.
We have Metal Gear Survive. We have Metal Gear.
Well, this is a different Konami now. This is a different Konami now. Because you got to remember, right now they're on Blitz with Silent Hill right now. Because, they got the remake of 2 coming out. And there's 3 different Silent Hill spinoffs coming out. And it seems. Oh, and there's another Silent Hill movie coming out too. I don't know that that's actually been mentioned. But like, it seems like Konami realized what people give a shit about. And it ain't pachinko machines. Do you remember when they actually...
How mad are you gonna be if you see these cut scenes from Snake Eater and they're just the cut scenes from the pachinko machine? Because that's what pissed a lot of people off.
Oh, yeah.
When those Snake Eater cut scenes came out, everybody thought it was gonna be the remake, but it was a pachinko machine.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, I'd be tight. I would be super tight. I would not be happy about this at all. Let's get back into it. I think we kind of went off into like some into tangent zone, but I was okay with it. I don't care. Spoilers. We can talk spoilers. Pretty quick. There's not really. I mean, there is a lot to spoil, but I do want to say real quick in regards to Gen V's opening moments. While this isn't exactly the same scene, this is actually like a flashback to that scene. That I'm pretty sure comes later, but dude, bruh, this is nightmarish. This was This is the stuff of nightmares to me because, and the reason why I say that is because our main character, Marie, as we said, she's a bloodbender. But how she finds out that she is a bloodbender is when she first gets her period. And you can do with that information what you will. It was that was a terrible, dude. Like I said, as a father of a little girl, as a girl dad, that shit was terrifying to me because I was like, man, what if my little baby had superpowers like that and I had to be the one to be home when she had her first period? I would be scared after seeing this if this was some real shit.
Death by menstrual cycle.
Dude, look, hey, you know what?
Got your throat cut by menstruation.
Well, no, here's the messed up part. Here's the thing I want you to think about, Carter. You know when like the one dude, Andre, when he was trying to come up with superhero names for her?
Oh yeah, that was so nasty.
He called her Bloody Marie. I'm not gonna lie, because Eric Kripke is so nasty.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I started thinking you might be her name?
What?
Because of the type of universe this is and like the type of commentary they make. Like, I don't know if you paid attention to when they were doing like the Vought propaganda videos in the early part of the show, and the part like, oh, A-Train, he was the first black and they brought back what was it, Elizabeth Shue? They brought she was like, see, this really proves that racism in America is over. But no, just that commentary, that level of commentary, I wouldn't be shocked if they called her Flo. Because
you see, and Robo just said in the chat too, because Coagula was nasty too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, and it did. And Robo's right. It captured that shit. It captured that level so accurately. And I know Robo knows what I'm talking about too, because he's a girl dad too.
Who did he kill on? Oh, I was gonna say, who did Robo kill on his period?
No, God damn it, fuck you. But no, oh, but you know what? You know what I would love it? I know they can't because of licensing. if they called her Bloodborne.
Oh, you're an ass.
Well, no, because you know, like a lot of people don't know this, but in Bloodborne, you know, all those blood vials you find.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Menzies. That's Menzies, bro.
So, okay, you're coming from a perspective of that's a horrifying thing. I
Yeah.
will agree with that and say that was a horrifying thing. But at the same time, I wasn't mad that the parents died, seeing as how it was their own fault.
Oh, no. I wasn't mad.
That was how I felt about it.
Oh, yeah.
When it happened, I was like, oh, shit. But that's what y'all asses get. That's that immediately.
Yeah. Oh no, that was me. You got to remember, Carter. I'm horror movie 101. I'm horror movie 365 24/7. That's the way I feel about everything. Like I like even characters that I don't like, I can still be like, ooh, damn. But like it's still, and that's a testament. That is a testament to how good the writing is on this. That I, despite the fact that like, especially without that, they didn't even have to say anything. Because, you know, if you watch The Boys, you already go into it knowing that the parents agreed to this. Like, you go into it already knowing. And you could tell the mom was expecting it. Like, or rather, not that she was expecting it, but she was, you could tell there was concern, but also you could tell there was a little less surprise. Probably more surprised that it happened as late as it did, because a lot of the kids that were dosed with Compound V gained powers immediately. She didn't get hers till she went through puberty, which I thought was like, you know, like like I said, there's a lot of nuance in this. Also, I can't wait, because you and I, we joked about this, but yeah, we kept talking about who the hell is this dude, and you called him Save the Last Dance.
Oh no, when they said Terminator Son earlier in the show, I'm like, damn, they just as bad as me.
Right?
Everybody in the chat just kept saying Terminator Son. I didn't even know, but yeah, that Saved the Last Dance.
Oh yeah, no, Save the Last Dance. That's 100%. For those, if you want a closer look, that motherfucker, Barbershop.
Yeah, I couldn't think of the brother's name, so I just said Save the Last Dance. And Ernie immediately busted out laughing because he immediately knew who I was talking about. And then I felt like an asshole because he said Barbershop, and I completely forgot this brother was in Barbershop.
Oh yeah, no,
I forgot this was the motherfucker that drank all the apple juice.
Yeah, yep, he was the one. He was that guy. Sean Patrick Thomas is his Christian name. But no, I love it. I fucking loved it. I fucking loved it.
So let me get you this real quick, because his character in the show is the father of Andre. Andre is actually taking his father's mantle as Polarity.
Yeah, Polarity.
The name that they have. In what you've seen so far of episode 3, coming from the initial 2, how do you feel about Nerd Large? Shout out to you for loved his cameo and not another teen movie, because that was the only other thing I remembered it from.
Yeah,
I told Ernie that.
Yeah, we were actually talking about that.
How do you feel about where the dad is going to end up falling? Because some moments it seems like he's being he's trying his best to be a good parent, but at the same time he looks like he's just a parent in the boys. Especially coming from Emma's mom, Starlight's parents, and shit like that. Where do you think this brother's gonna fall?
Honestly, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna tell you the vibes I get from him. So, like I said, this is Pop right here. This is Pop, the OG Polarity. And you know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of, and I don't mean this exactly. I don't want anybody to think I'm a terrible person either. But the misconception I had when I first knew I was going to become a dad. Because when you first become a father, like, especially, you know, and I don't know if other first-time dads do this either, but I feel like this was definitely me. But I remember thinking to myself, man, I can't wait to meet this child, you watch this child grow up, and like, I don't feel this way now for anyone who thinks, yeah, I might, but I can't tell you how many times I kept thinking in my head, oh, I hope that, my daughter is going to be a lot like me. And she is. She is a lot like me, but not in every way that I thought she would be. There are definitely some ways that she took from me that I kind of wish she didn't. The way she can, anyone who knows me personally knows I can be a smart ass. I have a capacity to be a mega smart ass. My wife will be the first person to tell anyone. I will be the first person, if she doesn't say it first, to tell someone. But it's because in the household I grew up in, that was kind of what we did. We kind of joked with each other. So it's why, like, a lot of times, like, I'll just throw some shit out and just, like, fuck with people. I like fucking with people is my love language. Like, and it's never mean spirited, but just like, I'll jab at you every now and again. Yeah. And it's always playful. But she does it too. But she can be a little bit meaner about it. But it's not because she's being mean, it's because she's a kid and she doesn't know. Like, she doesn't realize sometimes the things she say might come off as really fucking mean. Because there's been a couple of times I'll see her say something like somebody. I'm like, damn, girl, chill. I was like, that's your homie, right? But no, that said, it's also why, like, I'm very quick. I'm very quick. So, like, if someone says something crazy to me, I will respond in kind. And she's that way as well. But no, I was like, oh man, she's going to be just like me. She's going to love video games. She's going to love comics. She's going to want to go to all the superhero movies with me. She's going to want to watch all the superhero TV shows with me. She's going to, she's going to want to be a YouTuber like me. And then, like, man, one day I'm going to be able to pass on my mantle to her, blah, 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 blah. Here's the thing. Get that shit out your head right now. Because I'm going to tell you right now, here's the truth. Here's something I learned when Cersei was like, when she got around about 3. Actually, no, take that back. When she got around 4, because 3, she had a personality of her own, but she really hadn't come completely into her own yet. But as she's gotten older, that was one of the first things I realized. I was like, this girl doesn't give a fuck about what I do. Like, here's the thing, case in point. She wants to be a YouTuber, but not like me. Which, I mean, that's fine. She's 8 now. Like, why would she care? But, like, she doesn't like comic books. Like, not, like, really. Like, she'll read them, but, like, it's not anything she gives a fuck about. Like, she likes watching superhero movies. She kind of took from my wife in that respect. Where Cynthia does not really like reading comics, but she likes comic book movies. I say all this because that's kind of how I feel like Polarity is in a lot of ways. OG Polarity. I feel like, yeah, he's the guy, like, he's just so worried about, or not worried, but he's so hyper fixated on his son being the next him that he's not as worried about what his son actually wants. And that his own son, who we've talked about already, Andre kind of seems, I feel like it becomes pretty obvious Andre only really wants what he wants because he knows that's what his dad expects. Mm-hmm. And while there may be a small part of him that actually does want those same things too, he doesn't want it for the same reasons that his dad does, if that makes any sense. That's where I'm going with it. I would like to believe that maybe he could surprise me and not be a piece of shit in the end, but I do get it. But I feel like that's kind of what Eric Kripke is setting up. He set up this world where people are complete and total assholes. Mm-hmm. And part of me wonders if he's putting Polarity in such a light that maybe we'll learn later that he's not exactly as we may imagine he is. But he works for Vought. So take that how you will.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Big K Gaming said it. A football dad. Thank you.
We have yet to see one decent parent on this show yet, with the exception of I guess you could say MM, maybe. But no, you can't even say MM because his daughter doesn't have anything. She doesn't have any abilities.
No, she doesn't have any abilities.
Any parent that we have seen that have given their children compound V, none of them have been.
No. Well, and see, I'm glad you brought up that
Okay.
point. I'm glad you brought up that point because I was about to say, well, technically Huey's dad isn't awful, but once again, you clarified who's given their kids compound V.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, I've yet to see one either.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe we will. Maybe polarity could be the first, but I doubt it.
I want to say maybe Marie's parents, but we don't know because they caught it in the first episode. The dad didn't even get killed by blood. He got killed by shrapnel from
the blood. Because you know what it was? That was the other thing. And I think it's something that doesn't get talked about enough is that, well, yes, she can control blood, not just her own, but other people's. I feel like she's kind of like a Magneto in that sense that like anything that blood is on, she can also control. Because I feel like that was kind of what happened there. Like it was an accident, but like at the same time, like it's like, oh shit. Yeah. But yeah. Who's the Middle Eastern girl? She's a good parent, I would say. Oh, I think I know who you're talking. I think I know who you're talking about. From the main show. From the main show. I forget her name. I forget her.
Gus's daughter.
Yeah, because she has a kid, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I can see that. I can see that. Yeah. Okay, yeah. He's talking about her. Yeah. Well, you know what? In a way, sure, but then there were some things that were done in season 3 where I was kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because now, correct my memory, because like I said, I only watched it once.
AOC stand-in.
She was. I mean, that's what she was, though. That's who she was supposed to remind you of. And to be fair, so okay, here's what they did with her. So she Newman, that's her name. She was basically supposed to be. You know how? Okay, so I'm gonna explain this in terms that my lefties in the chat will know what I'm talking about. You know how conservatives always like to call Biden Brandon, dark Brandon? They like to show pictures of him with the red eyes, the laser eyes, and the evil smile on his face. And they're like, oh my God, he's the devil. He's this, he's that. Kind of the same way that they like to demonize AOC. That's what Newman represents. She represents what conservatives think AOC is. It's not to say that she is AOC. She's what people who don't like AOC perceive her as. Kind of the same way how, with Joe Biden, a lot of people like to perceive him as being one way. When actually, it's kind of like, I always see people say, oh, the radical leftist Joe Biden. Look, let me be real with y'all. I wish Joe Biden was a radical leftist. I wish he was as much a socialist as people want to believe he is, because at least then he would be a good president. But that's a whole other story altogether. Yeah, the heat glare. Thank you.
Let me ask you this quick.
Go ahead, shoot.
I want to see what you say about this. He's saying Marie has a weird power. They picked it for shock value because if we learned anything about this franchise, it's all about shock. And he hates her. He hates Marie's power because it's obvious her power set will be expanded, but right now it's bad. I have to cut myself to use my power. What did they have to do in Avatar to bloodbend?
You have to make the blood come out. They did that in Dragon Age as well.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, anytime you're using some kind of a blood magic or blood bending ability, that's kind of a thing.
But okay, so they're either having to cut themselves or figure out a way to get the blood out of someone else, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so we can say that that's the only way that she knows how to use it because she has no idea or hadn't even popped into her head yet to get the blood from someone else. Correct?
Right. Correct. You are right on every account you have mentioned thus far.
Right. So, Aquatic Life. This is 3 episodes in. You got to think before you speak. You have to think.
Well, here's another thing I want to add to that. Just because I don't want any of this to get lost in the translation.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I think the way that they introduced her power was picked for shock value.
Of course.
But that's what you do. Also, I want to say that, okay, her power. Let me ask you, I'm going to ask the chat a question. How many of you guys are, aware of the character Wolverine? I'm joking when I say this is a rhetorical question. Of course, you know who Wolverine is. Do a lot of y'all forget that Wolverine hurts himself every time he uses his claws? Every time he uses his claws, it cuts him. It hurts. It is literally canon that he bleeds when he does it. It's just that his healing factor typically heals the wound before it can really, get out of hand.
Thank you for the clarification, chat. Apparently, with bloodbending and Avatar, they needed a full moon to do it.
Okay.
Thank you for that clarification, my good people. The power set they gave her, they didn't have to pick that one. Who are you to tell them what they can do with their?
I'm about to say, yeah. I mean, that's like saying. I mean, that's
Let me stop.
Yeah, I'm about to say. Don't. You're giving this. You're giving this more oxygen than it deserves.
But yeah, thank you.
But yeah,
That's a fucked up bending ability. Then, if you needed a full moon just to do it, and you can control people's bodies by controlling their blood. But if it wasn't like 8:30, you was just assed out on your abilities.
Well, and what side of the earth are you on?
And plus, like growing up in Memphis, you know as well as I do, it'll hit 7 o'clock and the sun still be bright as hell outside. So damn.
Yesterday, dude, I started grilling late. Dude, sun was still out at 8 o'clock.
Dude, bloodbenders are trash.
But no, so here's the thing. And this is what I think a lot of people need to get the fuck over. If you don't like it, that's cool. But don't sit here and make a declarative statement and be like, about what someone should have done. I mean, because I'm gonna tell you right now, write me a story and I'll criticize it in the same way that you are. Keep that same energy. I'm pretty sure there's lots of characters that people probably could have done differently or gone a different route with, but I mean, let them do what they do. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Shit, that's all I can tell you.
Later on, it was improved that you could bloodbend without a full moon. I was gonna say because bloodbenders sound like some smooth trash. They are low on the tier list.
Yeah, I'm about to say Korra, which I'm more familiar with Korra, admittedly.
Apparently she can do it without the moon. That's what.
Yeah. She can, and I think that's why some people didn't like Korra as much because they felt like they're like. 'Cause I remember a lot of people used to always complain about how Korra was allowed to do stuff that broke the rules of the original show. I didn't like the original Avatar as much. Like, that's not to say I didn't like it. I just wasn't in love with it the way everyone else is because I didn't watch it when I was young. Like a lot of people who are fans of it watched it when it was originally on when they were like. Preteen or teenagers. I saw that shit as a grown ass man after it was good and off the air. And honestly didn't really care for it the first time I saw it. I actually only went back and watched it because of Korra. And I like Korra objectively better. But that's just me. I know I'm in the minority on that one. But yeah, neither here nor there. Also, I believe my wife said it best. Should have picked mutant healing. It's an inside joke between the two of us. It's something that goes back to one of our first dates. Exactly, and that's what Midnight Kale said. Thank you for saying that. She's the Avatar. The fuck you expect? I add the fuck, but what do you expect?
You stayed so long on that, we didn't even get to talk about Emma because Emma had a moment.
Yes. We actually, I also, Beta Boy out here always thinking outside the box. If you think about it, needing the moon is a nod to menstruation too.
Gross.
Yep. He's like, nah, fuck that shit. No. But that said, that said, no, a lot of characters get some crazy stuff going on. Emma's shit is wild. She is such a sad character. Like, I don't mean sad as in like she's like not in a bad. I mean like the way she's written, like you can't help but empathize with her because I guarantee you, everyone in this chat, you know an Emma, whether you realize it or not. She's such a sweet character, at least for what I've seen so far. I'm sure that can probably change depending on the trajectory of the show. But Emma, the girl who shrinks. Thing we didn't talk about in the non-spoiler sector of the show is that the way she shrinks is that she has to purge, and I don't mean in the she gets to kill people for a whole night once a year. No, I mean she has to throw up.
That's an awful choice.
Yeah. When you see her, actually, wait, that's the wrong one. This one. When you see her, like when she's that small, she had to throw up a lot because that's something that they actually show you. I think it's in the second episode. Is that when she does get small, it's not like she immediately shrinks to that size. She just gets smaller the more she throws.
More chukes.
Yeah, so like let me go back to get, because I think there's one point where she does it the first time we see her do it, and she only gets like as small as like I think she's like half her normal height when she does it the first time.
Yeah,
and then she keeps doing it, and more she gets to like Ant-Man size, or the size of like not even Ant-Man size there, because technically Ant-Man would be smaller than that mouse, but but the more she throws up, the more. The smaller she gets, and it's so heartbreaking because like when you see like why she does it, because like she just wants to be liked, she wants to be loved, and no one thinks that she's which is so crazy. No one like all these people like clowning her in her YouTube comments, or in this case VTube comments, I believe. So on and so, where people are just clowning her because like, oh, you have a dumb power. And it's like, dude, that power, and this is, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, Carter. I'm pretty sure this was a shot from the trailer. And it's actually the thumbnail for a lot of the trailers for the show. But I don't know if this happens in the third episode because I haven't gotten quite that far yet. But I'm going to tell you right now, y'all gonna put some respect on that girl name. Y'all gonna put some respect on that girl name. Y'all gonna leave her alone. Y'all gonna leave that girl alone. But no, I liked the whole kickoff too. Like, and I guess since we're talking about spoilers, we kind of got to talk a little bit about your boy Golden Boy. A little bit. I want to talk a little bit about Golden Boy before we move on to anything else, but. Dude, heartbreaking. And I think that's why I like so many of these characters. Is like, they're all going through something. Like in some way, shape, form, fashion. The fact that Golden Boy, he's dealing with, not knowing where his brother is. And then having these dreams about it, which I'm going to go on a limb and say, because there's something that happens in the second or third episode, I don't remember exactly which, where it's heavily implied. I think it was the third episode. It's heavily implied that he always knew, but maybe was made to forget. Like I said, I haven't finished that episode, so it probably is revealed later. It's kind of like one of those deals. I always tell my wife will ask me a question about something we're watching, and then like within like a minute of asking the question is answered by the thing we're watching. This happened the other day. We were watching a movie. She was like, oh, what's this movie called? And then literally someone said the name of the movie, like not even a half minute later. And then when she asked me what the movie was about, they literally explained the entire plot of like what the movie was, like what the setup was, like a few seconds later. Mostly because it was one of those movies that like it was like a found footage deal, so they kind of have to give you the premise early. But yeah, dude, I like Golden Boy. Why have to do Clancy Brown like that?
I'm gonna say I liked him because I thought it was just because of watching the boys. I thought it was all the front, just the way he was acting. And
Talking about Golden Boy.
Yeah, I thought it was,
okay, yeah. I see what you mean.
I just thought he was gonna be the stereotypical jock kind of dude. It's like shit when he was fighting the one guy and ripped dude's fucking arms off, and then just he just dapped him down right after. I just thought that was a front for the most part. I didn't expect him to just.
That was the misdirect though.
Yeah,
that's where Eric Kripke got us. That was the misdirect because we see him and we immediately think, oh, he's the Homelander of the show. Mm-hmm. But it turns out he's actually not a bad dude. And like I'm not gonna lie, when he ripped dude's arms off, that's when I was like, wow, I was like, they kind of made it seem like this dude was actually pretty cool. Yeah. And now he's like ripping dude's arms off after he beat him, and then you're like, oh, dude has a healing factor. He did it.
Put him right back on and dapped him down. I'm like, bro.
Yeah, I was like, bro, I'm not gonna lie, you ripped my arms off. Ain't no, even if you hook them back up to the correct sockets and my healing factor stitches them back together, I'm elbowing the fuck out your ass. Immediately after. We ain't no the only dap I'm gonna be doing is be dapping upside your forehead. Ain't no way. But no, he's actually like a genuinely good dude. Like, especially when you think about his name. He's Golden Boy. He's literally the face of God U. And like they are already grooming him to be on the 7. Like he's getting fast tracked to the 7. And you're like, oh yeah, he's got to be a piece of shit. And it's like, no, he's actually probably one of the few people with superpowers, like actual like compound V superpowers in the boys universe who's not a total piece of shit.
They asked him just if you all didn't have an idea of when this took place, and it took place after the most recent season of The Boys. Brink even asked him, did you want Starlight's old room or Maeve's old room?
Yeah.
Because all that what happened in last season of The Boys happened. So
notice they didn't mention Black Noir because we're getting a second Black Noir in season 4. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, everybody honestly, everybody was this is one of those shows where like as far as like principal cast goes, as far as like your principal, and I think maybe the one character we don't really know a whole heap of a lot about, the one character who's probably the most mysterious is Sam, and that's only because like by the time you get like you only see Sam a handful of times.
Crazy food. That's what they
well, yeah, no. I mean, you see what he's going through, though. You see what he's going through. It's kind of like, man, look, they doing this dude dirty as hell. But like, this is one of those shows where, like, at least initially, I don't hate any of the principal cast. I'm like, dude, everybody. Like, I mean, yeah, there's certain characters I may not like just because, like, I'm not supposed to like them. But or like I don't count this character as part of the principal cast, but like the mean girl. Like, yeah, you're not supposed to like her. Like, yeah, she's a piece of shit.
Wait, which mean girl? Kate?
No. The one who was trying to pretend like she was being nice to Emma.
Oh, to Emma. Yeah, I'm hoping something happened to that.
Oh yeah, no, I hope she catches
when
it.
She apologized, but it was still on camera.
Yeah, it's like bro.
Is the whole season out? No, it is not. Dex.
No,
it's just the first 3 episodes.
Yeah, first 3 episodes. That is it. You ain't shit. Golden Boy unsubscribed himself from life. Dude, I'm sorry, that was wild. That shit was wild. I love this show. I'm sorry, I love this show. Like, honestly. Oh, dude, you know what it is? I can tell y'all exactly why I fell in love with the show. It was synchronicity. So for those who don't know, I recently did the video for Ms. Marvel. the New Mutant #2. And in that video, I talked about Emma Frost, and I was going back and doing some light reading and some image hunting for images of Emma Frost back during like Generation X.
Yeah.
That was it. It wasn't so much that it just reminded me of the X-Men, it reminded me of Generation X. But not like in a non-problematic, like not like, because Emma and Banshee weren't trying to use the kids or whatever. They were training them, but like it was all in earnest. But like just the dynamic of the kids involved, I was like, dude, yeah, this kind of reminds me of Generation X a little. Not saying the powers are the same, which, by the way, for the person that was mad about the blood bending, there was literally a person on Generation X, her whole thing was ripping her skin off. So that for those who remember the character Husk, one of the Guthries, one of them Guthrie kids. How many Guthries are there, Carter? Isn't there like 80 of them?
I want to ask you something real quick. That's
go ahead,
not
shoot.
Related to Gen V, and it's not related to X-Men right now.
Okay, hit.
But you said Husk, and it just reminded me of something I think we may have discussed before. What do you think about the new villain that's about to pop up in Batman and Robin?
Oh, you know what? I'm actually woefully behind on Batman and Robin.
So
I think it's what is it, 2 or 3 issues out now?
1.
Oh, is it just the one?
I think it's just the 1 right now.
You know what it is? So many Batman books come out.
Yeah.
So many Batman books come out, I might have gotten it mixed up.
Okay, so
but no, go ahead. Pop off.
It's just when you said Husk, it reminded me of what I'm about to go to. So there's gonna be a new villain in Batman and Robin. It's gonna be her debut.
Okay. I'm down. I'm down.
You said Husk, it reminded me of Hush.
Got you. Yeah.
The new villain for Batman and Robin is not going to be Hush, though.
Right.
It's gonna be Shush.
Yeah. Yeah.
How I feel about Shush.
Shush. Could have picked a better name.
I can't remember if we talked about it beforehand.
We never did.
Okay.
We never did. No, Shush. I remember that. I don't know how I feel about that. That's okay. So here's the thing, and I say this as a guy, once again, as a creative. Every good name is already taken, so all that's left is the bad one. So you either reuse a name that's already been used, and I'll say I think a lot of people don't understand that is why a lot of characters get reused or like legacies get passed on. That's part of the reason, because I mean, you think about it. A lot of names, like even if you go back to like old superhero names, characters that are really popular now, a lot of those names are dumb. It's just that we've gotten used to them to the point that they don't sound as dumb as they do. Like they don't sound as dumb then as they do now. So like, it's kind of like remember when we were talking about Miles Morales, Spider-Man? And there was a new character, Rabble. And I'll be one of the first people. I thought the name was dumb. But I mean,
is that the girl that's hating on him?
Yeah, that's the girl that's hating on him.
Okay.
But like honestly, if this was a character that was made back in like the 60s, or not 60s, but like the 70s, 80s, like back when a lot of those characters that are popular now that have really dumb names that we let slide today, nobody would have batted an eyelash. So it's one of those things, like it just is what it is. It's something like honestly, well, I think I've openly talked about how like I have like a bunch of different irons in the fire, different comic ideas that I'm like, conceiving, in some way, shape, form, or fashion on, pen and paper or whatever. One of them is actually an idea from when I was in high school, and like, but taking it and trying to update it. Not taking it as it was, because as it was then, not good. But when I go back and looked at a lot of the characters' names, I was like, ooh, cringe. And even like now, like when I try and think of names for stuff, I'm like, ooh, that's kind of cringe. But yeah. But the thing is, all the good ones are already taken. So yeah, it is what it is. I think that's why a lot of characters you find now are more often referred to by their government names as opposed to their superhero names a lot of the time now. But yeah, take that as you will. Here, let's go back. Oh man, Carter. I think
Wait, she pulls her skin off as a villain. I'm not fighting you. You got it. I'm going home.
Oh yeah, no. Dude, let me tell you something. The first time I ever saw Husk in Marvel, dude, I hollered. I was like, ugh! Okay, so here's the thing. Some of you may remember, I don't know, how many of y'all remember the Generation X TV movie? How many of y'all remember that? They replaced her as a character. They replaced her as a character. They used a different character in her place. One called Buff. Her name was Buff on the TV movie.
Bagwell?
I mean, may as well have been. But her whole thing was like her whole deal was that as her name implied, she was buff. And she always wore sweaters and stuff because she was ashamed. She was ashamed of her muscular appearance. But that was supposed to be like a stand-in for the character Husk, who, as I said earlier, she had to rip her flesh off to, because like the whole deal with her was that whenever she did it, she always revealed like a here, this will be kind of a grainy picture, but y'all see y'all get the idea what I'm talking about. But like, yeah, that's her like ripping her flesh off basically. And like whenever she ripped her skin off, she would always have like a different type of skin underneath, like like metal or something like that. Or like granite or concrete or whatever. But yeah, she was an interesting character. She was a very interesting character. And I'm actually kind of shocked that they don't really do much of anything with her now. It's not to say she's not around. Actually, dude, I didn't know. I'm today years old. I just realized she goes by a different name now.
What is it?
Or not different name, or she went by a different name before she was called Husk. I didn't realize her original name was Hayseed. I did not know that. I've learned a new thing. But that said,
please.
Yeah, no, that said, Carter, you know what I think we should do?
What's that?
I think we should get in our recommendeds.
All right.
Let's get into our recommendeds, man. Let's get into the recommendos.
Yeah.
Carter, what are you recommending this week, brother?
I'm recommending every single person that watches the Blerd Cave every week, that comments on the Blerd Cave after we're done shooting this live. I recommend you all go and you watch Ernie's other videos. Why? Even though a lot of you will say that you already do, I'm recommending you all go through those comments on his videos. Because he and I had a conversation a couple weeks ago, and I never realized how true this statement was from him, in that he has different groups of people. He has the people that watch the Blerd Cave,
yes,
and the people that don't watch the Blerd Cave and only watch his videos when he drops them.
Mm-hmm.
If you all have never, and I've looked in a few comments of those videos, and I haven't seen a lot of you all that are in our chat right now and hit us up on Discord and what have you. Y'all go in them comments of those videos. I want you to see how the other side lives, because I truly, truly did not believe there was as big of a difference in quality than some of them fucking comments. You all are completely on the other side of the street, as opposed to the people that just watch the videos and comment. That is a whole different monster.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh no, I learned it. One of the reasons I knew it off rip was there would be times I would reference things that were talked about on the Blerd Cave, or sometimes I would reference Carter, and there were people who legitimately had no idea who you were. Because they only watch the videos. They don't watch the live stream. And then there's people who only watch the live stream who don't even realize I put out like other videos until I say something about it. And there's some people who don't know I put out certain videos. Like it's one of those things. Like it's no one's fault. It's no one's fault except for YouTube's. It's no one's fault except for YouTube. It's just how they do. But that said, thank you for that recommendation. I am going to recommend that you go create something awesome. I'm going to steal a line from Roberto Blake, who may or may not be in the chat right now. Because I know he is one of Earth's mightiest subscribers, but Roberto Blake is a YouTube aficionado, and it's one of his taglines: "Go create something awesome." But I'm saying that because I recently feel like I created something pretty damn awesome, and I'm quite proud of it. I showed it off on Twitter actually. It was a part of the Patreon channel member perks, which by the way, they are up now, and I do give a full-throated apology in that video because it just took a while for me to get that out there to y'all. There's been a lot of stuff going on, and once again, I've learned the hard way that when you try to I have a whole new respect for people who write, draw, and ink their own comics, especially people who like Daniel Warren Johnson. Have a whole new respect for what Daniel Warren Johnson does, because that's what Daniel Warren Johnson does. He writes, he pencils, and he inks his own comics. He doesn't typically color them himself, but he does everything else. And that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm taking the Daniel Warren Johnson route here. And which, by the way, you know that Transformers drops next week?
I did not know that.
Dude, it looks so good. I've been watching the stream. Carter put me onto his streams. But so what I've been doing, I kind of changed it up. I know a lot of y'all have been patrons and channel members for a while. You know, I was doing the top 5 comics of the week. I think I did it for almost 2 years. But like I decided to change it up and just do videos of me drawing, because a lot of y'all didn't know that I draw. So, and while technically the video itself is only for patrons and channel members, I don't mind showing off the finished product, because I feel like the real joy is getting to follow along, because I do encourage y'all to draw along with me while I'm drawing. So there you go. And I try to explain the process. So this is the actual full result. This is the whole result of the most recent 2 videos. It took me 2 videos at 35 to 40 minutes apiece to do this. But this is what I was working on. I was working on I don't have a name for him. I was affectionately calling him Apocalypse X. But I also thought maybe Woke Apocalypse could have worked as well. But this is what I was working on the whole time. So yeah, I actually took this from the cover of Jonathan Hickman's X-Men number 5, or no, it was 4, X-Men number 4. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a fire cover, by the way, with all 3 of them in them suits.
Yeah, I was like, dude, we don't see Apocalypse in a suit very often. I was like, I want to do something like that. And then, like, for the joke at the end of the video, I drew the hat on. And then that we just did straight rough sketch and then pencils. Yeah. And then we did inking on the second video. So
yeah, that was a really dope Dr. Umocalypse. That was a very
Dr. Umocalypse. Yeah, shit.
That was dope.
I see nobody said it too. He's a Dr. Umocalypse, man. Ain't that some shit? But I thought I was like, yeah, let's do that. I want to do more. I think what we'll probably end up doing though is I'll probably end up just drawing the comic while I do the videos now. So y'all can kind of see, get a taste, get a preview. Apocalypse, y'all ain't shit.
In Saba Mohammed.
No, I saw one that was so nasty. I don't even want to repeat it, but like there was one I saw. Someone had quote tweeted it on Twitter. It said "In Saba." Yeah, in Saba N word.
Yeah.
I was like, bro. It was a soft day though, so I was like, okay, it's whatever. But yeah, it's a milk and magnesia apocalypse. Y'all ain't shit. But no, that's what I encourage each and every one of you to go out and make something incredibly awesome. And you know what? I'll even show you too if you guys want to see. I kind of showed it a little bit on the in the was it the Iron Man video? But if I can lend any inspiration whatsoever, if I can lend any inspiration whatsoever, this is actually the first page of the comic I'm working on, and everything you see, there's no letters or anything like that. This is all like just the it's the pencils, it's the inks. I do not color. It's not that I can't, I just choose not to. And I also think that there are people out there that could do it better than myself. But I inspire you. Don't wait to do the thing. Go do the thing. Because I'm going to tell you what I did, Carter. I spent so much time obsessing over how I should do the thing or whether I should do the thing that I wish I would have done it a lot sooner. So yeah, I highly advise don't bean pie apocalypse. But no, I highly advise, because I talked to some people on Twitter and a lot of them were saying that, like, yeah, it's like sometimes I draw the picture, but like I never finish it. I don't know if I should. Let me tell you right now, stop obsessing about it. Go do the thing. I don't care whether you think you can or you can't. Go do the thing. Because I'm gonna tell you something. And when I went to Memphis Comics Expo this past week, the previous weekend, which I didn't ever really talk about it much. I actually had planned to talk about it and kind of forgot about it. But one of the things that happened, while all that was going on, was that I met a lot of talented people at that con. People who live in my city, who are making amazing things and are doing really good work. Hold on, wait a minute. This thing is acting funny. It's acting funny. Ugh, I hate it here. It shouldn't be, though. Jesus Christ, what is happening here? Oh, it's doing like weird buffering and shit. So it's coming back, but it's taking its sweet time. But I'll just, I'll just go ahead and keep saying, all that said, yeah, don't waste your time fighting yourself about whether you should. Just do it. Just do the thing. Create the thing that you want. And fuck the haters. That's my recommendation this week. Let's get back to it. It says, Levesta the Samurai out here says, that is awesome art, Blerd. Thank you. This is coming from this. So I want to put something in perspective for y'all. Don't mind the top panel. It's a background panel. And I this is where my art is actually quite terrible. So I'm not going to show that part. But right here, I want y'all to understand something. I took 15 years off from drawing. Like, this is actually the first, like, everything that y'all have seen me do as of late, this is all me doing it after 15 years of not drawing shit. And I had a lot of analysis paralysis about the comic. Carter can tell you, because I've been talking about it off and on for so long.
Yeah.
But I was so mad at myself when I finally did it, because I realized I actually had the capability to do it. So yeah, don't psych yourself out. That said, let's get to our 5 questions from the Discord. Carter, we got anything in there?
Yes, we do. We have a solid 5.
Ooh, man, solid 5. I love to see it.
All right.
Go ahead, kick us off.
All right, well, this first one here we got from Liquid Monty saying, what characters are you most excited to see in this new Ultimate Universe? For me, it's Black Panther. And do you guys think Ultimate Invasion was kind of Hickman's take on Flashpoint? The letter from Howard to Tony at the end kind of made me think that.
You know what? I'm gonna be brutally honest with you. I have not read Ultimate Invasion #4 yet.
Okay. So, what characters are you most excited to see in this new Ultimate Universe? Let's do that.
Well, since Black Panther was mentioned, that has my attention. I'm curious how that's gonna be done.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I could just as easily read Ultimate Invasion #4 if I guess I want to get a hint or a tease of that. But I guess as we didn't get that, we got another one back here that wasn't answered last week, I think. This is from KGTB, says good Saturday question. With Icon versus Hardware being repeatedly delayed and no new milestone books being announced, do you ever get concerned DC will do to that DC will do milestone dirty like they did in the 90s? I don't have that concern this time around. I think a lot of what's going on here is that they're just taking their sweet time getting everything done. They're taking it'll be out when it's out mentality, not trying to rush shit out the door, which I get it. It's frustrating, but it's also one of those things, just as I said earlier, as a person who is doing almost all the work himself, I am writing the comic. I am drawing the comic. I am inking the comic. The only thing I will not be doing with this comic is the coloring and the lettering. I won't be doing either of those tasks. Because lettering, I think we just recently had Letterers Appreciation Day not too terribly long ago, within the last couple of weeks. Let me tell you something. That shit's hard. Not only is it hard, it is fucking tedious. So yeah, look, it takes time. It takes time to make something great. So that's all I can say. Give us our next one.
All right, Trap God Thanos. I always love seeing that name. Good evening, Blerd and Carter. I saw a discussion online recently lamenting the fact that superhero comics don't have the soap opera type drama that they used to, and I'm inclined to agree. Do you put that more so on the writers or the fans? To me, it's the fans' fault, no question. Every time a writer tries to have some interpersonal conflict, or God forbid, have a character act even slightly morally questionable, there's screenshots and tweets all over social media calling the writer a hack and demanding them to be fired. If I was a writer, I wouldn't want to deal with that. Just like I wouldn't want to deal with the potential repercussions of not getting those motherfucking likes up. He always catches me with that every time.
Dude, Trap got Thanos out here, man. Trap got Thanos out here. No, you're preaching 100%. Well, I do think, okay, so yeah, when you say superhero comics, I agree. When you say superhero comics don't have as much interpersonal drama, like soap opera style drama, that is 100% true. Well, I say that's like 75% true. The drama is there. It's just not in the comics that people stereotypically read. The drama is definitely there. I would tell people, you look no further than Kelly Thompson's Captain Marvel. You'll find it. If you dig into to a lesser extent, Moon Knight, it's kind of there. It's just not on the same level as people might be used to. And honestly, that's because back in the day, we got spoiled because a lot of people who wrote comics back then were also novelists. Chris Claremont was a novelist. Matter of fact, you could tell if you go back and read early Chris Claremont X-Men, God, it was wordy. Good Lord, it was so wordy. Lord help us, it was so wordy. It didn't get better till after about, I think, like a year or so of him being on the book. He got a little better about that. I think it might have even been 2 years, shit. But no, you will find a lot of that stuff more in the indie sector, or like not even the indie sector, but just outside of the big two, like your Image Studio or Image Comics, your Boom Studios, your Dark Horses, your AWAs. You'll find that stuff more over on that side of things. But that said,
all right,
I do agree. And speaking as a person who, once again, says a lot now, as having written my own comic, I too kind of, I don't necessarily avoid the commentary, but I also don't care for the discourse about which writer is a hack, which one isn't, because honestly, just like all things art, it's subjective. Carry on.
Yeah, just real quick, Frank Gleason in the chat, they did not cancel Hardware. DC did not cancel Hardware. They canceled the trade paperback release of Hardware season.
Oh, got you.
That's what they canceled. They didn't cancel the book itself.
Wait. Oh, talk about of Icon versus Hardware, Hardware general.
No. Hardware season 1 was supposed to release as a trade, because it already has the hardcover, but they canceled the trade release.
Oh, the trade paperback. I was about to say they got a
trade
whole fucking
paperback.
trate out.
Yeah.
But you can only get which
you can only get it as the hardcover. Yeah,
honestly, the hardcover's better anyway. So just get the hardcover.
Yeah.
Man.
So yeah, that's what they canceled.
Oh man, you scared the fuck out of me. I was like, hold on, wait a minute.
Well, he said it in the chat, and I wanted to just go research and look the shit up for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, they canceled the trade.
The trade, yeah.
So rest assured, Hardware Season 2 is still gonna come sometime soon.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people might have a bad taste in their mouth because of where Icon versus Hardware was kind of but read static.
Read static.
It'll bring that back up.
Yeah.
All right. Next question here from the homie Melvin. Blessings, my brothers and sisters of Blerd Co. I hope all is well this morning / afternoon. Got a question. As we approach the end of the year, which has been too damn fast, what you said, if you had to list your top 10 comics of the year, what are you putting on that list, and what is your honorable mention? Y'all stay tight like a virgin at Freaknik. P.S. Artwork looking good, earned. I don't want to answer this question because that's content right there.
I mean, that's true. I tell you what I'll do. I won't do the full top 10, but I'll definitely tell you some comics. I won't tell you what order, but I'll tell you what comics are definitely in the running. Okay. I can tell you Void Rivals right now, definitely in the running. Firepower, definitely in the running. Something's Killing the Children, always in the running. I don't know where it'll be by the time we get to the end of the year, but Wonder Woman's already off to a great start for me.
Yeah.
I love Tom King's Wonder Woman so far. It is not what I thought he was going to write, but it is definitely what I want him to be writing. Superman has been fantastic. Superman's been fantastic. Batman's been pretty damn good, though I will say it's kind of been slipping a little bit for me. Catwoman also has been consistently pretty damn good, even though it's not a comic that I read like week to week to week. It's something I kind of let stack up and then read. Philip Kennedy Johnson and Nick Klein's Incredible Hulk also on the list. There was an Image book that came out very recently, I believe, that also had my attention. Ambassadors has been great. Big Game, I'm not gonna lie to you. I know a lot of people probably expect me to say Big Game. I'm not gonna say Big Game because I'm gonna tell you what, I kind of see where Big Game is going, and I
thought about you when I read the third issue too.
Yeah, I see where it's going. Well, because you know what? I'll save it, but I'll just say this. I'll say this. I feel like it's Millar going back to his Wanted, and it is because he's using a lot of Wanted characters. But like, yeah, I feel like it's just him going back to his Wanted days. And well, initially I thought maybe they might use the Magic Order to kind of like write some of this. That likely will not be the case.
Did you read issue 3?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And it just, I don't know. I just, you know what it is? Big Game is one of those stories. It's cool to read, but it's not something that I'm like, oh my God, it's the greatest thing ever. I would rather read any of his other books before reading Big Game again. And then what was the other one? There was another one that was kind of Philadelphia, which right now Philadelphia is kind of on hiatus right now. Battle Chasers has been really good lately. Do a Powerbomb is always going to be on the list.
What was this year?
Which one? Do a Powerbomb?
Yeah.
Oh no, technically that was last year actually. But you know what? I'm thinking about because the not hardcover, but the trade came out. Mm-hmm. That's more what I'm thinking about.
Still pissed about that.
Yeah, I'm not.
I want that as a hardcover. I really wanted that as a hardcover.
No, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. Yeah, there's a lot of really good comics out right now, and it's honestly it's difficult. It's difficult to say, what should be, whatever, this, that, and the third. It's tough. I'm trying to think. There's a book that G. Willow Wilson has out right now too that like I'm absolutely positively blanking on. I'm actually looking it up right now. What does she got out right now? It's something she just recently, she's just recently been dropping.
Right. While you look that up, I can
go
do
ahead,
this
shoot
from the Discord, because this is all you from Qdoma. Greetings, Blerd. Hoping all is well. My question is, what is the big difference between Thrawn and Palpatine in Star Wars?
The hunger and the dust. That was what I was. The hunger and the dusk. Sorry. If you haven't checked that out, go check it out. It's awesome, especially if you like sword and sorcery. Okay, so the question. That one. So we're talking about Star Wars. We're talking Star Wars. Nothing but Star Wars. The difference between Thrawn and Palpatine. The major difference is, while Palpatine definitely plays the long game, I think Thrawn plays an even longer one. The obvious difference is also being that, one is, force sensitive, skilled in the force, the other is not. But Thrawn is such a pragmatic character. He would make moves even Palpatine wouldn't find tenable. Thrawn is the type of guy who also respects his enemies. Palpatine doesn't necessarily respect his enemies. It's not to say that he would, diss them or down them, but like he doesn't see the merit in anything that they do. Like Thrawn is the type of guy who would wipe out your entire civilization, but he would also study its culture first so that he could get to know it better. And would even respect and maybe even in a roundabout way love your culture. But he's still going to destroy it. Like that's to me, that's the big difference between Thrawn and Palpatine. Palpatine is scorched earth. Thrawn is like a tactical. You know what? Thrawn is surgical. He's both surgical and tactical. I think Palpatine is just tactical.
Okay.
If that makes any sense. So there you go. And I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is 5. Yeah, I guess technically, since I wasn't really able to answer Liquid's question, I can answer this one pretty quick. So my big question is, what headset is Ernie always wearing in Blerd Cave? Mine broke earlier this week. Okay, so this is easy. I can actually tell you exactly what that headset is. And you know what? Just because I'm a nice person, I will also put a link to this headset in the chat as well as the Discord.
That's the one you won?
No, this is a different one. This is a different one. So the headphones I'm wearing, they are Rode NTH 100 professional. Here, and the link to these headphones is now floating in the chat and will also be in a reply to you, Matto, on the in the question section. I like these. They're very comfortable, and they don't like cancel out any noise or anything, but they're very good on sound. I can wear them all day without my ears like feeling like dog shit. And yeah, good stuff all the way around. Let's get to questions from the chat.
I see one here from Dalzel K. Williams. She's saying, my granddaughter and I loved your Static and Ebon video. We laughed so hard. Will you be doing a season review of Ahsoka when it's over?
Maybe. We might do it on here. We might do it on here on the Blerd Cave.
Shout out to you making the grandchildren laugh.
Hey, look, I have my moments. Okay, I have my moments. That makes me smile because it lets me know that I'm still in touch. Because my daughter does not find me funny. At least she does, but she doesn't like to show it. She doesn't want me to get the big head. She wants to keep me in check. But no, yeah, I think we'll probably do it on the Blerd Cave. I think I'll talk about it on the Blerd Cave. Largely because something that I've just taken stock of, and it's just, this isn't, I have to pick and choose where I do things and how I do things because, and once again, this isn't a shot at anybody. Sometimes when I put out videos that don't perform well, it makes my other videos not perform well. And that's all I will say. And so I have to always look at it in that perspective. If I did on the Blerd Cave, I feel like it would work out better. So there's that. Let's also, because we do have a super chat here that I do not want to miss here. I don't want to miss this. With the $2 super chat, Romy Forever says, "Thank you for the artistic inspiration, Ernie." Hey, you're welcome. You're welcome. You got to put it out there. We got another here. Detrick Morgan says, "Did you guys know that Peter Cullen, the man who voices Optimus Prime, was also the voice of Predator?" I actually did not know that.
I did actually.
Yeah. See, look at you. Look, you were up to speed. I did not know. It's actually pretty cool, and also reminds you, because okay, I'm gonna tell you. So here's the funny thing. So you mentioned Peter Cullen being the voice of Predator. So here is the assumption I made just based on what Frank Welker always did. For those who know, Frank Welker was the voice of Megatron. Megatron's voice actor, Frank Welker, used to do a lot of random voices across all forms of media. Matter of fact, Frank Welker, and I want to make sure I'm correct in my assumptions here. But for those who may not know, Frank Welker for the longest time was the voice of Scooby-Doo. As well as Fred from Scooby-Doo. He was also the voice of a lot of characters like Abu in the Aladdin. God, why am I blanking on words all of a sudden? Animated movie, the TV show, the movies, all the spinoffs, whatever. If Abu was on the screen doing anything, he was the voice of it. If you go up and look up his credits, which, by the way, here's something else that just blew my mind. He still does the voice of Scooby-Doo to this day. So me being me, I just assumed, because he did so many animal voices and like random voices, I just assumed that Frank Welker was the one who did the voice of the Predator. I knew someone from Transformers did it. I just assumed it was Frank, but it was Peter. So there you go. Assumption is a motherfucker. As I always say. We also got one here. Romy Forever says, will there be Funko Pops of you and Carter like Grill Master Ernie and Pumpkin Spice Carter? Blessings to all your endeavors. So I tell you what, if I could get some commissioned, I would do it. I would actually do it if I could. We got another here. Bill says, question, will you be checking out the new interview Steve Fox did with Power of X-Men? He discussed more. I kept wanting to say Powers of 10 because I saw the X. But anyway, with Power of X-Men, says he discussed more revealing info about Dark X-Men, his new Sunfire story on X-Men Unlimited, and new stuff at 24. I'll probably be checking it out. I'm not going to do a video on it or anything, but if it comes up organically in another video I'm doing, I probably will. Because that's usually where that stuff usually comes up. I'm going back doing a little scrolling. There we go. How many is that so far? Was that what, 2 or 3? That was 3. That was 3. Well, we got another here. We got Trap got Thanos still out here. So this question, why do you think people constantly bring up Miles's comic faults, like lack of original villains, classic stories, etc.? Those
I think he's trying to say when there are other characters with the same problems.
Like Nightwing, yeah. Which, you know what it is? So it comes from 2 places, and it's going to sound weird when I say this. One is going to come from a place of love. I've discovered that sometimes people love characters so much that anytime they're not getting the utmost, like absolute A1, 1,010,000 however percent of attention and detail that they feel other characters get, they get really angry about it. I saw that in the Phoenix, the Jean Grey video I did. There were so many people mad about the Phoenix, and it's one of those deals where they were so mad about a what if scenario where Wolverine and Cyclops got the Phoenix Force, that they were so like, oh, they just give the Phoenix to any old body. But here's the thing that people don't realize about the Phoenix Force. Only one person has ever been able to wield the Phoenix Force the way Jean Grey has. You know who that is, Carter? Jean Grey. Now, I will say that. I take that back. Technically, there is the Phoenix of 1 million BC, but we never even really saw everything that she was capable of. But yeah, the thing is, everybody who gets the Phoenix Force doesn't always wield it well. And I think that but people see it. It's kind of like with Venom. People get always mad, oh, everybody gets Venom. It's like, well, no, not exactly, because not every person who wields Venom wields him correctly or as efficiently. You know what I mean? Like Matt Gargan was Venom for a while. He was not
like,
yeah.
The only constant with Phoenix is that the last one is always Logan. That's the only thing I appreciate.
Yeah.
Is that they at least keep that.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it does make sense in a lot of respects. But, you know, people hate the idea because, like, I think originally it was kind of implied that the Phoenix only is drawn towards psychics. But that's not, I mean, here's the thing. Shit changes. It changes. Sometimes you just have to go with it, man. I just go with it. But the other place I think people just legitimately like to bring up the yeah buts, because while everyone, because there are people out there who don't like a character and are mad that other people do, so they always try and point out that character's faults more. So it comes from two different places. But I will definitely say I think the people who are coming at it from a place of hate, those people, I guarantee you, have no clue what they're talking about. Because Miles, well, yeah, does he have iconic villains like Spider-Man and Batman? No. And in a lot of cases, technically, a lot of his iconic villains are Spider-Man's iconic villains. But here's the thing. Who else has iconic villains other than Batman and Spider-Man? I challenge anyone to tell me, and don't even bring up the X-Men. Outside of Batman, Spider-Man, and the only reason I even leave X-Men out of it a lot of times is because Batman and Spider-Man, even people who don't read comics know who those characters are. They know who those villains are. Even people who don't read Batman comics know who the Joker is. They know who the Penguin is, at least from a pop culture reference standpoint. Same goes for Spider-Man. Even the people who don't read Spider-Man, they're at least vaguely aware of who Doc Ock is, or the Green Goblin, or somebody like of that nature, or Venom for that matter. X-Men, even people who have a tangential idea of who the X-Men are, don't always know who the villains are. So that's why I always leave that one out. But yeah, that's to say that, yeah, a lot of those people who are complaining from a hater standpoint probably don't actually even read Miles's comic to begin with. So I just dismiss them out of hand immediately. But that's just me. That's just me. And then we got this will be
question.
Huh?
Gotta make it a good one. It's the last question.
Yes, last question. I'm actually, I see two right next to each other. Let's see here. I tell you what, I'm gonna do this one. You know what? We're gonna cheat. We're gonna cheat a little bit because I can actually answer both really quickly. We're gonna cheat a little bit. Y2 Noob asked a question: how long till people realize that manga and anime is woke, despite what online commentators say when trashing Western comics? Here's the thing: it's because it's not from here. I've talked about this before, and I'll try and be as succinct as humanly possible when I mention it. But I've often said that a lot of times people, when they are dealing with a foreign form of media, people tend to put it on a higher pedestal than they would something that's from their own backyard. And the reason why is because when you're watching anime or reading manga, your brain is having to read from left to right or from right to left as opposed to left to right. Your brain is telling you you're reading higher art. Because your brain, even though you may be used to it, your brain is still remembering that it has to think differently when it is reading that thing. Same as when you watch a movie with subtitles, not even just anime, but just a movie with subtitles. Your brain, even if, no matter how used to reading subtitles you think you are, your brain is just a piece of meat. And it is very simplistic. Your brain, because it's having to do a little extra work, even if you don't think it is, your brain is equating that with higher art because your brain is having to work harder to process information. It's kind of like I was talking to somebody else in the comments on another video because I made an anime reference in the static video. They said, because I don't know if they are Japanese born or they just spend a lot of time in Japan, but they said they always found it funny when they heard people in the States refer to anime like as anime or manga as if it's something different. They said all anime is just our word for cartoon. And they said it's no different. And I did disagree with them a little bit just in the sense that anime by and large does tend to tackle subject matter and depict things that we normally wouldn't do over here, at least back in the day. Nowadays, that's not really the case. But that is something I've always said. I mean, I use the term anime and manga just to differentiate what I'm talking about. But ultimately, all manga is just another word for comic. Anime is just another word for cartoon. So that said, yeah, I will definitely say, I think people just honestly, and some people might hate me saying this, but it's kind of, I always tell people, look up how your brain actually functions. And you will be surprised. There are reasons why there's a reason why people say perception is 9/10 of reality. It's because your brain is just a piece of meat. And what it thinks, it will do your brain will literally do anything humanly possible, any level of mental gymnastics to keep you from ending yourself. Because that's your brain's job. So, anyway, that went a little longer than I planned, but I'm still going to do this one just because it's going to be easy. Big K Gaming HD says, I'm about to start a YouTube channel about breaking down nerd media for people trying to get into it and wanted to know if you had pointers with getting started. Here's what I would say do. I would say be yourself, be very genuine. Don't try and be anyone else. Be yourself in all things. And I would even say, yeah, if we were joking about this earlier, but I was saying don't go back and look at like any of my older channels. So Carter, I've said this a lot. You always talk, and I've even said this to Rob when he's been on, talking about how there's lots of people who usually try and compare me to him or say that, oh, you're just biting off of Rob. But here's the funny thing about that. While I was aware of Rob when I first started my channel, I did watch Rob. I was subbed to him, obviously. I didn't do what I did because of him. And I actually didn't really try to be like him either. Now, if you go back and watch my previous two channels, if you are anyone who trafficked in like that type of video, you would be able to tell who I was trying to emulate. But when I did this, I wasn't trying to be Rob. I wasn't trying to be Benny. I wasn't trying to be Dope. I wasn't trying to be any of them. I was just being myself. While we may be doing the same thing, I wasn't trying to copy word for word exactly what they do. I mean, yeah, I would take little things like, which are technically the things that every YouTuber does. But honestly, if you watch my channel for any length of time, you'll probably recognize that I actually borrow things from channels that aren't anything like mine or deal with anything like mine. Like case in point, how I do, and I'm showing you how the sausage is made here, but how I do my channel plugs and videos now. I didn't get that from Rob or Dope or Benny or anyone else for that matter. They may do it. I have no idea. But I actually got it from Meat Canyon and Papa Meat. That's actually where I got it from. Because he does that. He doesn't do anything about comic books. There are certain political channels I follow. There are certain things I talk about and say that are indicative of those things that I watch. You know, not the ideologies, but just like the way that I frame things. So yeah. All that's to be said. At the end of the day, be yourself. Let your influences be your influences, but don't let them be what you do. That's my advice. Be you in all things. Because honestly, at the end of the day, anyone can watch the type of content that I make or what you will make anywhere. They don't come for that. They come for you. And I'll hit the danger button. Danger. Anyway, that said, Carter, that is the show. That's it. Or not the show, really, because I think we might have a couple of things I want to hit before we get out of here, actually. Because we actually got this. Oh, wait, nope, not that one. It was, it got away from me. It was this one down here. John Battle says, hey, fellows, thanks for another enjoyable show. Can't wait for next week. About to head out to finish my birthday weekend with a family cookout. Thank you. By the way, thank you for those 20. First off, you're thanking me. I need to thank you for those 28 months in the Blerd Club gold mine. And also, I also need to put some respect on your name. We're going to drop the bomb for you. Also, happy birthday. Enjoy your birthday weekend. I hope you... Look, first off, I don't know what you're barbecuing, but may the meat be moist, and may the char marks be delectable. That's what I say to that. Let's see here. What else we got? I think that might be it. Yeah, that's it. That's the show. Carter, do you have anything you want to announce before we get out of here? You have any streams, anything going on? You do any watch parties? You going to go buy any more omnibuses?
No.
He said, no, fuck out of here with that. So anyway, I have nothing to announce really outside of the fact that, yeah, go check out the videos. For those who are wondering where my Immortal Thor video is, or if I'm going to be doing a video for any other stuff, yes, I'm getting to that. I'm trying to spend more time working on my comic because I've been doing a lot of videos lately. So I'm trying not to forsake that. But I will say, and this is more housekeeping than anything else. There may be some weeks where I probably don't cover every comic I normally would, just because I may just wait and cover more later. But yeah, while I'm working on this, at least this first issue, getting it under lock and key, and anytime I'm probably working on anything, I'll probably kind of cut back on videos, just to make my workload easier. Because once again, I'm 100%. Like, just like how I am doing just about everything on the comic, I do everything for the videos. So the person who is talking is also the person who is doing the editing. So, so yes, until an editor situation can, well, first off, and don't expect it anytime soon, because right now, while the channel is doing well, I recently just ran into some financial shit, because I have to pay for my own insurance now. And that is actually be a big chunk of change out of my pocket every month, which is also taking money away from me being able to do other things. However, everything else, as far as like channel memberships, super chats, well, those go to Carter, at least half of that. But like everything else, like channel memberships and patron stuff, that helps in that regard. But yeah, right now, from a monetary standpoint, I'm not in a place where I would even feel comfortable asking anyone to do video editing for me, because I probably would not be able to pay them what they would want. And rather than undercut people, I would rather not. And I would rather wait till I can actually pay people what they deserve. Because I don't want anybody out here making videos, but man, Blerd Without Fear, don't pay. Y'all ain't about to have me out here like that. No, no, God, no. I am pro labor. Y'all ain't about to have me out here all fucked up. So yeah, that's it. That is everything. That's the show. For all the chatters, lurkers, super chatters, channel members, patrons, Blerd Cohen citizens, everyone who supports the show in any way, shape, form, or fashion, however you do, I appreciate you so much. Make sure you go check out the Patreon and channel member content. It is up for both. You go check the member tab if you're on YouTube. Go check Patreon, obviously, if you're a patron. And yeah, for Carter Presents, I am the Blerd Without Fear. In Vought Industries, you can go to hell.